Oh, yes, this was Wiley. Yes.
Hi, this is Melanie Ford.
Oh, welcome. I was trying to give you the link so you can come on. Cause can you come on StreamYard?
I'm still in track.
Are you still on traffic? Okay.
But this is
You're Mellis Ford.
correct. I'm
You're
still
the
in track.
one that were alleging that you were being cyber bullied and cyber stalked by Darius Cook, correct?
So this is what I'd like to do. As I said to you, I'd like to have a conversation with you prior to coming onto your show. I did receive the link, and I'm willing to have a conversation with you.
Okay.
But I also think it's important to set some boundaries and have a clear understanding. So I'm not giving permission to be recorded right now because I want to have a conversation with you.
We are, but
So
I'm live. I'm live. I don't know with the conversation. We should do an interview because I want to tell you this. I didn't have a prior conversation with Darius. We just did a live interview. So whatever you want to say, we can say it live on the show because I wanted to be live. I wanted to be authentic.
Yeah, and that makes sense. That does make sense.
Because that's what I did with Darius. Only fair. We didn't do no. I asked Darius.
And that's fair. I was not aware of what you did with Mr. Williams, nor is it my concern.
That's what we did. No, I'm just letting you know that's what we did with Darius. Because I don't like to do pre-interviews because I like to be authentic on the air.
You stated that, and I am clear. I don't know who you are. And I don't know your platform.
But Roland Martin know us. We go live every day. We just bought Roland Martin book. We did a book club and stuff like that. This is what we do. We just interview people at the end of the day. And I would love to hear your side because you did tag me in a post with Roland Martin, and Roland Martin responded. I don't know if you saw that tweet.
I have not been very active on Twitter today. I did see something where I posted what Roland did retweet my tweet. So anything other than that, if that was later on today, I'm not aware of it.
Okay. So I would definitely, okay. So whenever you get ready and everything, I'll be ready to do the show.
Well, if you're live now and you have questions, I'm stuck in traffic. So
okay. So I did send you the link. I know you stuck in traffic, so I don't know if you'll be able to come on. But one of my questions would be, when Darius played the clip of you left the voicemail, he was assuming that you was a part of a book club on Periscope. Would that be correct? That you was a part of some type of book club?
I was going to be a part of his book club. The book club never happened.
Okay. So what actually went wrong and make you change it there? Because you were a fan, correct, at one point?
I was not a fan. When you say fan, it depends
you was
on
a supporter. You was a supporter of him.
I was. Okay. So one of the things in participating in this that I think they're just going to make this work well is that we're not going to be able to talk over one another. And I'm going to respect your platform, but it's going to be important that you give me an opportunity to answer your questions. And so I'd like to try and answer your questions, but we can't talk at the same time.
Okay.
So with regard to what went wrong with Darius is that Darius had a habit of being very ugly and very nasty to people. I went to Darius privately and told him, Darius, I'm not going to be able to support you. I was a supporter of Darius. Darius is very funny. I thought at the time, he gave great pictures of his food. He's very engaging. He's not, at that time, he wasn't all a bad guy. But then once you're around, and everybody seems good at the beginning, right? But once you're around people for a while, you start to see certain things. And I spoke out about it. But here's the thing, Mr. Wiley. I went to him directly. And that's what Darius doesn't like to tell people. Darius is giving a lot of snippets of phone calls and video and things like that. And he's painting the wrong picture. That's what's very frustrating for me. This is my life. I'm a person who had a very good reputation before this, and I still have a very good reputation. But it hurts me. It's frustrating for me for this man to repeatedly lie on me over and over again. So to your question, when you ask me, well, why did you leave that voicemail? Darius tries to make people believe that I just called him out of the blue. That voicemail was left after Darius doxed me. That's what he doesn't tell people. Darius did give my personal information on the internet, home address, phone number, address, and he's done it since then. He doesn't care who he hurts. I'm a real person, and I don't want to hear anybody tell me about how it's public information. I'm sure if I Googled you, I could probably find some personal information about you, maybe where you live, your phone number. But does that mean you want it put online for the world to see? Because Darius calls attention to things like that. And when he did that to me in 2016, one of his crazy fans called my phone number and told me that they were going to not only read to me my address, but the address of my parents, my elderly parents, and said they were going to find us and fuck us up. That voicemail that you hear was for me saying, Darius, and listen to the whole thing. That's not somebody calling and stalking him. I started out with, good morning, Darius. I don't know why you're choosing to act this way. Listen to the voicemail. I'm talking to you about his behavior. And I told him, because I got angrier and more frustrated the more that I talked, and said, if you continue with this, this could get ugly. I have the time, the money, and the resources to make it ugly. And what I meant by that was, look, you're going to keep putting my address out there. I'm going to have to sue you. I'm going to have to pursue this. Darius likes to paint a picture that is not true, Mr. Wiley, and it's hurtful. He has said horrible things about me, and he is a cyber bully. He harasses people, and I'm not the only one. So me being willing to come onto your show is the reason I'm doing that. It's because you, just like many, you get online and say, oh, I told y'all Darius was innocent. Darius wasn't accused of a crime. You all need to speak. You need to be responsible in media. You need to be fair in media. And that's why I appreciate you having me on, but you're not getting all the facts. It is not a wise person that makes a decision without knowing all of the facts. Darius lost his case. Darius took out a false temporary protective order against me and tried to say I was stalking him. He lost that case. The only thing that happened yesterday was Darius was not made to reimburse me for my attorney's fees. So for you all to continue to...
Oh, hold on. She hung up. Give me a second. Give me a second, you guys. She hung up. Hold on. Let's bring her back on. Hold on. I want to make sure she hung up. We want to definitely have her on. Hello? Give me a second, because we definitely want to have her on. Share this live, you guys. She's definitely here for that. Hello?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We were disconnected.
Okay, you'll be back.
But as I was saying, and thank you for calling back.
Mm-hmm.
My phone is not on just do not disturb, and as I told you, I'm in traffic. That's why I couldn't make it to plug into you. So my apologies.
Okay.
But for you all to continue to rehash this stuff, I'm a real person. I had a whole real life before this. Darius is. I'm not a medical doctor, but Darius is clearly disturbed. And when you all make assessments, and when you say things like, I told y'all Darius was innocent, you are helping perpetuate a problem. You are helping to perpetuate a lie. Y'all want to sit, not you, but something, you in this instance, but people want to sit back and say, oh, y'all just haters. Let me be clear with you. Darius has nothing that I want. Nothing. Let me be clear, because I know these are all facts. When you say, oh, y'all are haters, what do I have to be hating on Darius for? Darius, I have multiple homes. Darius is living out of Airbnbs. Darius is going down the streets carrying salmon in a suitcase. Darius is standing in front of a stove all day sweating. I have somebody standing in the stove for me. And that may sound petty, but let's be clear. I have a husband. Darius can't keep a relationship. I was born with a vagina. Darius wants one. Yeah, I'm going there. I'm not going to do this where I continue to be a punching bag for Darius and you all sit there and co-sign that mess, because it's cruel. So I've taken the high road. I've turned my cheek, and I didn't bother Darius. But this hurts people. Do you know how it feels to have somebody go online and call you a pedophile? Call your husband a pedophile? He's put my car, which is very distinct. People know now. I drive a custom-colored blue Bentley. He put my car online and my license plate, and then tells people that I ride around Atlanta collecting people for my husband to enjoy. What kind of sick shit is that? It's not cool. And so when you go online and you say things like, oh, I told y'all Darius is innocent, he is far from innocent, sweetheart. If you Google my name, you'll see nothing but good things before this mess happened. Me giving to people, me helping the homeless, me pouring into people, mentoring people. I'm a grown woman who has done nothing but good in this community and tried to be good to him. And when I saw how nasty and ugly he was to people, I then said, oh, dude, I got to go. That's Darius's problem. Darius doesn't like when people reject him.
So
I told him, you need to treat people better.
I want to say,
and I'm sorry I got this long diatribe on you, but I've been holding it.
I understand that part, but I want to speak on this. You did not get your request from the courts to get your attorney fees paid by Darius. Darius did win that he will not he will not pay your attorney fees because the judge said he do not have to. Is that correct?
That is correct. Darius does not have to reimburse my fees are paid, dear. I don't need Darius's money. And you have to understand even the thought behind that. Darius is the TPO was considered frivolous, and let me tell you why. To us, frivolous. I know, and ultimately the courts decided that Darius did not prove that I had been stalking him. One of the things that Darius likes to do is he also likes to play part of the police video. It's funny how he likes to play snippets of stuff, like he plays a snippet of the tape that makes it seem as if, I was angry with him. But that same video that he likes to play, and that's public record, and I'd be more than happy to send it to you, where Darius likes to see me in front of the police officer and all this other kind of stuff, and he tries to make something out of it. On that same tape, the police officer is saying to me at one point to Darius, Mr. Williams, has anything like this ever happened before? And Darius answers him. One of the few times he's told the truth. He answers the man, no. First time. Now, wait a minute. You've been telling people I've been stalking you. But Darius is smart. It's one thing to get on and lie to you all and to simple-minded people that will believe that, but he knows you cannot. And you're going to put yourself in a world of trouble if you start making false statements to the police. Darius didn't even show up for court the first time. Darius thought that he was going to put all of this online and make me the laughing stock and make people laugh at me and make people believe that I was stalking him. But when it came time to come to court and he knew he was going to have to prove it, guess who didn't show up the first time? Then when we pointed that out, then he gets online and lies and says, oh, they told me not to come. That is a bold-faced lie. The court is not, if you think you're being stalked and you think your life is in danger, do you think the court is going to call you and tell you not to show up? No. You would go to court, and if I didn't show up, you would automatically be granted your restraining order. But you know who did show up? I did. And when the judge was going to drop it because Darius wasn't there, it was my attorney and myself who said, no, I want to show up. I want to clear my name. What guilty person is going to show up for court if they've been stalking somebody? They don't. I showed up every single time.
So I want to say this.
I never stalked him.
Okay, but you were across the street from where he was at in the bushes, according to Darius.
No, I wasn't. That is another lie that you all like to make sure. Let me tell you something. If you come to your house and I'm standing in front of your house, does that mean I was in your house? No. That's another thing y'all don't know the facts on, and another reason why he lost. Randy Travis. The text messages out there. Randy Travis and a few other people knew that I would be there, and there were other people coming to be there to approach Darius. I got there first. Someone else got there before Darius came out. I did not want to be standing close to Darius. So for Darius to go and tell y'all this lie that she was hiding in the bushes, go back and look at the videotape that he puts up. I am clearly visible standing there recording because I wanted to see what was going to go down. When you have somebody that's been messing with you for a long time, yeah, you do want to see them being held accountable.
So why was you there? Why was you there?
No, we're not going to interrupt each other. No. And when you listen to the tape that Darius posted himself, he says, oh, you did that. Oh, that's classic. That's classic. Because he thought I put something on his car, which I did not. Darius is standing there going, that's classic. Oh, you did that. You did that. That's funny as fuck. Those were his words. But when it came time to go to court, all of a sudden is, oh, I'm taking anxiety medicine. Oh, this has been so hard on me. Darius is full of shit. And he's a good actor, and it's only the simple-minded that believe him. You all let Darius take a snippet piece of tape and made you believe that I was hiding in the bushes. No, I was standing there. And
so why would you standing there? That's quite weird to be standing by there.
Which part did you miss?
I'm just saying.
I was able to prove, sir. Wait a minute. I was able to prove. That's another lie Darius tells. It was just a coincidence. As much as you all
I don't believe that, man.
It is one of the weirdest things, but I was able to prove that. And that's why Darius lost his case. I was across the street at the car dealership. That's another lie that Darius likes to tell. Darius got online and told everybody, oh, there's no Bentley dealership in the area. I never said I was at a Bentley dealership. I was at the Mercedes dealership. What makes you think that you can't come in one car and leave in another?
You said that was a coincidence that come to that. You are a married woman, correct?
Yes, I am.
So why don't you let your husband handle this, because the man's supposed to handle these situations?
No.
I don't understand that part. Because you are getting involved with another man. Shouldn't your husband get involved in this?
My husband, Darius, is light work. Darius is light work. My husband is busy. My husband handles the heavy lifting. Darius is light work, baby. My husband's doing his part.
But why is he not getting involved in this? Because it seems it seems to me, ma'am, to the public, it seems to me in the public, and I talked to one of Roland Martin's assistants, that you are literally enjoying this because you still on Twitter putting his name in bios. Why don't you just ignore him? Because you were married. I just don't understand that, ma'am. On your Twitter, you have surviving. You have stuff about Darius, interviews that you did about Darius. Why don't you just block it and just ignore it and move on?
No. You gonna let me answer your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Darius should not be able to get away what he has done. Darius did this to me. I stayed quiet for years. Is that the part where you're forgetting? Darius initially lied on me. I wish somebody would come and go after you and your parents. I took that, and I closed my mouth. Darius has been telling this same lie since 2016. I shut my mouth and went on about my business. And that is what happens. When people bully, more often than not, people say, you know what, I'm just going to go on about my business and not worry about it. Or this ain't my business, I'm going to go on about it. You know what the problem is? People like Darius, sick, demented people like Darius, keep on. Sometimes you got to punch a bully back in the nose, because sometimes when you try to take the high road and you keep your mouth quiet and all of this other kind of stuff, they keep after you. Taking the high road does not always.
So are you a submissive woman?
For you,
because I don't understand that. Because it seems to me that you have this masculine energy. Are you a submissive woman? Because I don't understand how you have a husband and you're doing
too much right now.
And you're going. No. It's like you're going on the internet addressing a man. Ma'am, let me tell you this. When my wife, hold on, let me tell you this. If my wife were getting stalked by a man, I'm going to handle this. So you dictate to your husband, so you're the masculine one? I just don't understand that. You're supposed to be submissive and let your husband handle it. That's what I'm saying.
One of the things I said to you if I agreed to come over here, that you were going to have to be respectful. Now, you got about one more time to go there because you don't know me. So for you to start to try to make this into not being submissive and so on and so forth, I've spoken to you and I've answered you clearly. So don't do that. Don't do that. Be better than that. You don't know a damn thing about me or my husband. So don't try to act like I'm acting masculine or anything like that. Darius, as I said, is light work. I can handle this, and I have the full-on support of my husband. You don't know that I've asked my husband, let me handle this, because we have a way of doing things that works for us. And right now, me getting my hands dirty by being on this interview and dealing with somebody like Darius is how I choose to do this with full support. So you need to watch your mouth.
When do you have time to cook for your husband worried about Darius? This is the point that I'm trying to understand. Make me understand this, ma'am. Why are you keep getting involved with Darius and you married? Shouldn't you put that focus cooking for your husband, providing for your husband, put in focus for him and not Darius? I'm not understanding that.
You sound like a fool. What makes you think I'm not cooking for my husband? You sound really ignorant right now. And on that note, it's going to be really time almost for this interview to be over. Because you think one has to do with the other. How small-minded of you. What makes you think I can't handle Darius and take care of my husband? I don't know who you dealing with, but I'm multifaceted, okay? I can take care of Darius and do a slew of other things and still be progressive in this world. That's what I told you. Darius is light work, honey. Darius is light work. I have an attorney. I can do this myself. I can speak on things. It takes a whole lot of energy, focus clearly to do things the way that I want to do them. I was warned about coming on this interview for you because I said he's messy. I wanted to believe that you were really interested in, because I'm learning about the clicks and the views and how it is important and how you YouTubers and someone told me this man has been on for 10 years and he only has 29,000 followers and blah, blah, blah. It's not worth your time, so on and so forth. But I believe in giving everybody an opportunity. And I thank you for giving me an opportunity to come on, even if it's just for you to get.
For me personally, I talk with people that follow. Let me ask you this question. I talk to people. I talk to people that follow. I talk. Oh, ma'am. Let me say this. I talk to people that follow Darius, and I'm trying to understand why is she still interested to come back there, because Darius is still a millionaire. He's still selling out. He's still selling his events. I'm just not understanding that, man. It seems that you are the one that's upset, and Darius is still doing what he's doing.
Your mind is small. Your mind is small, because apparently you cannot grasp what I'm telling you. Darius needs me more than I need him. Darius brings up my name. You sit up here. Darius is on your show talking about me. I wouldn't have even known who you were had Darius not been talking about me. Darius chose to dox me again, put the court papers online with my information, so on and so forth. Darius brings me up. Did you miss the whole part in what I told you? I was minding my business. It's Darius that goes and gets a fake TPO posted online. Darius needs to rehash these stories because he has an audience probably very much like yours, not everybody, but a lot of people who just like mess, who like being mean to people, who like laughing at people. I said to you very clearly, I took the high road. I said, okay, I'm just ignore him. Darius will not stop. And I think that's because he's disturbed. There's something wrong with him. You all think just because he puts up pretty pictures of macaroni and cheese and then he smiles in front of the camera that, oh, okay, he must be a nice guy. And you take no time in understanding both sides of the story. And when you do, you come on, even before talking to me, you like, I told y'all Darius was innocent. How ignorant of you. You didn't even have both sides of the story. You have not taken the time to figure out what's going on. So that tells me one of two things. Either you don't care about both sides of the story and you're just about the mess, or you're too ignorant to understand.
First of all, I've seen, man, let me say this. You went on Roland Martin's show. You didn't say not one curse word. You over here, you're being ratchet and ghetto. So be classy. And so, because when you was on Roland, you were calm and you didn't say that one curse word. I didn't say not one curse word to you, but you didn't say a curse word on Roland Martin. You was very respectful to Roland, so be respectful to Wiley.
You know what? I also didn't have Roland come after me with some of the sideways ways that you're coming after me. For you talk about for me to be submissive, for me to be this. You don't know that I'm not submissive. You don't know a damn thing about me. So I will give you what you give me. Roland was respectful. Roland was fair. If you present me with the same, you will be met the same. So if you keep it classy, that's what you're going to get from me. But if you're going to come left, you're going to get left, because it's me not tilting my crown and keeping quiet. That is not going to continue to play, because it's people like you that need to understand that I'm a real person. Y'all can't get out here and talk anywhere in a way that you want to a grown-ass woman. It's not right. It's not right.
But ma'am, you open yourself up to the public, though.
You are formulating your questions. See, you want to try to reduce it now down to a curse word. You've heard a curse word before, and you said them before. Like I said, I will respect your platform. But what you're going to do, you're going to give me respect, and I will give you respect. And we can move on from that. You're not going to make assumptions about me. Ask me questions. Don't sit up on your show and talk about you not submissive and ask me, why won't you let your husband do it? What kind of cave you lived in? Do you not realize we're getting ready to go into 2023? Women are fully capable of doing some things on their own. I am happily married to a strong Black king who supports me 100%. My husband doesn't need to come and rescue me. He supports me. But when I need him, believe me, he will be standing there. I had told him on this little mess with Darius, my husband's done his part. He made sure that he joined with me, and we got the best of the best representation, because Darius will have his day. Because this thing that he's doing is wrong, Mr. Wiley. You don't want to hear it. You don't want to believe it, because you got numbers to think about. But I'm giving you the facts, and I'm giving you the information. If Darius is going to sit up there and he knew better than to lie to the police officer. He wants to tell you, oh, she's stalking me. But when you're standing there in front of the police officer, and he asks you, has anything like this ever happened before? You know what Darius says to him? No, first time. But he goes on and tells y'all that I've been stalking him since 2016, that I've sent him hate mail and death threats and called him a faggot. To this day that nobody's ever seen. Where's the emails, Darius? It never happened. Darius needs to make me his villain. Darius needs to, all because, Mr. Wiley, I told him I didn't want to deal with. I said, you're mean to people. You're unkind to people, and that's unnecessary.
And so that's when you inserted yourself, because Darius is being mean to people. That's when you...
No. I didn't insert myself. Darius asked me to be a part of that platform. See, your terminology is wrong. No, I didn't insert myself. There you go. Why don't you try asking a question without assumptions? You would do well. I don't know if that's an interviewing class that you need to take, but you're making an assumption that I inserted myself. Again, you are wrong. And so I see I'm having to correct you on these things over and over and over again. And maybe you will take this, and I don't know if it's live. I don't know if you're going to take it and chop it up and try to make it into something it's not. I will appeal to you, though, before I go. I will ask you, because you still don't get your views. Because what I'm recognizing is people like to be a part of the mess. But I need you to understand that I am a real human being. That this person that you like so much, Darius, that you, for whatever reason, that you've connected toward him, is hurting people. Is lying on people.
You can't speak for everybody, ma'am. You can't speak for everybody. You can only speak for yourself. You can't speak for everybody.
For me to defend myself.
But you're generalizing and saying that he's hurting people. Which people? You can speak for yourself, but everybody that I talked to said Darius is a good person.
No, well, that's okay. That I don't know who you're talking to. You have to, maybe you're not talking to everyone. And there are people that I talk to that I'm aware of that he's stopped, and that he's hurt, and that he is misrepresented. And if you want to go down the list, you can. You want to go down your list and tell me. I'm sure that there are people that think Darius is a wonderful guy. I was honest with you. I did at one point, and he's very good at making people believe things. You sat there, again, without knowing all the facts, sat up there and said, oh, he's innocent. Like, how does that even work? He wasn't on trial, so how was he found innocent? That's what I'm saying. Put two and two together. Why are you all saying stuff that's not applicable? It's not. Darius wasn't on trial, so how is he innocent? The only thing that he was not have made to do was to reimburse me for some fees that I have already paid. I have no lack in my life, but I don't like, especially financially. But what I don't like and what is painful is to deal with a cyberbully. And he has a group of people, not everybody. Some people truly follow him for the food. But Darius has made up in his mind for whatever reason. And that was something he said last night, again, that, these people picked on me for 2 years. And I'm going to go back and I'm not going to let this go. I have a right to defend myself. I have a right to say, no, what he did to me was wrong. And for you to get on and try to victim shame, and for you to act like, why you got this going on, and why you did you ask Darius why was he still talking? Did you ask Darius, why are you still publishing that lady's home address?
I've never seen him. I've never seen him publish your address, ma'am. I've never seen that.
It's on his Instagram and his Facebook.
I saw on Instagram he pulled the court document that you lost in court, that your legal fees will not get paid by Darius. I'm talking about your legal fees, that the judge disagreed with that. And so that's what I said on the mouth, that Darius is innocent, that he don't have to pay your legal fees. That's what I was speaking of. And then also people also were saying that Darius was a scammer and all that. He never been arrested or anything like that, right? And then I talked to 100 and I talked. No. But see, this is nonsensical, and I at this point I'm hitting my head against the wall, because I just need you, brother, slow down and listen to what you're saying. You said he's never been arrested. Do you know how long it took for Bernie Madoff to be arrested? Let me tell you something. The best cases take a while. Okay, just be wise. The best cases take a while. There's discovery. You have to research things. Things like this doesn't happen overnight. Most people, when done wrong, most of them, they get frustrated and they go, I'm not going to worry about that. Just never mind. Keep my money from my cookbook, blah, 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 all this other kind of stuff. You know how long Darius was out there getting money for fixing people's credit before the Attorney General got him? Years. So don't act like this is supposed to happen overnight. And he paid $100,000 to them, and there was no criminal charges. The fact that he had to pay it, and you sit up there and want to believe the lies because he didn't know. Darius likes to sit up there and read, sir. Go and read the complaint. Darius did not just have to pay a fine. Darius said, they closed my businesses down because I didn't know. Sir, educate yourself. Go back and read what happened. Did he go to jail for that? Yes or no? Darius was taking money and not performing the services that he claimed that he knew how to do, which equates to stealing. Now he was able to get off because he paid some fees, but he also had other consequences. Darius is not the first con man to be able to get off and still go back to their harmful ways. Why do you think that you have all these people coming out of the woodwork talking about Darius's behavior, and people like you want to sit and you want to blow it off, just like, he hadn't been arrested yet. It takes time. And who says that he won't? You can't judge whether somebody's guilty or not because they are not in jail yet. Well, that's my people. When there is smoke, there is fire. I want to say this, Mel, because when I was watching your Twitter, and you have done a Twitter room, right, about a Twitter space about him, correct? I've had I talked about Darius on my Twitter spaces. Absolutely, I talked about the outcome of the verdict where he didn't have to pay my attorney's fees. I recently spoke on that. Yeah, why? So you're going to continue to go back and forth with Darius, correct? Sir, when have you seen? Go through my page again. Educate yourself. Do you see once why I've added Darius? Darius said, and that's another reason why he lied and he lost. Let me educate you on that. Darius wouldn't know anything about what I say if he didn't come to my page looking for it. I have never go back and look and see why I at Darius. I don't at Darius. I don't. I use a hashtag, Darius Crooks,
Hashtag Darius cooks. Darius does not see it unless he goes looking for it. And there is an old adage, don't go looking for trouble unless you want to find it. So don't sit up there. And if he can sit his ass on Instagram, TikTok, and so on and so forth, and lie about me, and you now are getting this response from me. If you want to talk about my Twitter, you go back, but you don't see what other people. There are other people out there that will talk about Darius and oh, he ugly and he's fat and he this, that, and the other. I stick to the facts. I'm only talking about how he is doxxed and he has lied on me, how that has impacted my life. And I will say it to you again. Shame on you for sitting here thinking that I am not supposed to be defend myself, and shame on you for thinking that I'm some kind of weak woman that got to have somebody come and rescue me.
Well, you said that Darius wanted a vagina. That's not true. Where's your evidence for that, ma'am? Where's your evidence that Darius wanted a vagina?
That is actually a really, really strong pivot, isn't it? And why are you worried about it? Where's the evidence? You can't pivot from that. You said that Darius wanted a vagina. Where's your evidence to back that up? Because you didn't say that on Roland Martin. Okay, well, why do you keep comparing yourself to Roland? There is no comparison, dear. You tagged me and Roland in the post, man. Where you are. You tagged me and Roland in the post. So you said that Darius wanted a vagina. Where's your evidence to back that up? Go to Grindr. I think he probably says all the time that he's a bottom, and he's referred to having a coochie and all of that before several times. So you're stalking his Grindr? No, I'm not stalking his Grindr. You are okay. I'm gonna let this go. No, I'm not stalking his Grindr. You don't have to stalk someone's Grindr. There's a thing out here that's called the internet. I'm not the only one that posts things. As a matter of fact, I take pride in not posting those kind of things, but it doesn't mean that I don't see them. So again, you have a point of view, and I'm aware of that. But I think I got enough out to where it is clear. You want to make it seem like somebody's stalking him. That's been proven that's not the case. People like you are just as bad, or damn near close to just as bad. Because I'm doing this because this is going to be a win for you as well. Because you like the little clicks and the views and so on and so forth. But I'm trying to appeal to you as a human being. Get your clicks, get your views. But you said that I've been on YouTube for 10 years and I had 29,000 subscribers. Who told you that? Did Roland Martin tell you that? Did Roland Martin tell you? Did Roland Martin tell you that I've been on YouTube for 10 years? If I had a conversation with Roland, that would be me and Roland's conversation. So who told you that? Told me that. I don't feel a need to disclose that to you. Okay, you don't feel it. Do you not think? Do you not know that? Do you not see your page is out there? You got a public page. I just amazed that I'm being discussed. So maybe Roland told you. I don't know. This is not an attack against you. This is me laying out the facts and me appealing to you and saying, do your little show. I'm on here, obviously, but you don't have to be cruel. And if you're trying to do a good and fair show, like you texted me in my DM and said, I promise I'll be fair to you. Do you think it's fair that you expect for me not to defend myself? Do you think it's fair for you to come and you're talking to me, but try to be slick and talk out of the side of your mouth and try to bring my husband into this? I see what you're doing, brother. Well, for me personally, I'm a traditionalist, so I believe that the husband is the head of the household, and I believe that the husband should be taking it. And I believe that I believe that if Roland Martin's wife was being addressed by Darius, Roland would take the baton to defend his wife. I don't think that Mrs. Martin will be going around it. I just don't believe that at all, ma'am. I just feel like you're stressing yourself out, and your husband should be doing that. That's just an honest opinion. I'm a man. I believe that. You are really sad. You're trying it. How's that sad, ma'am? That's what I believe, ma'am. That's my belief. Okay, but those are you. Okay, then you stay over there with your belief because you don't know what my husband has done. You don't. That's what's so sad. You keep saying things as if you know everything that has transpired. You only know what you have been given privy to. And it's ridiculous. And so what you're trying to do is trying to paint a picture of my husband in a way that is just so wrong. And I'm not going to let you do that. You're trying to be slick about it and then say that you're a traditionalist. Okay, what that got to do with me? Your beliefs are your beliefs. I'm on your show. You didn't send an invite to my husband. You talk to me. I'm on the show. Darius spends more time coming after me. Darius plays my voicemail. Darius comes on and lies on me. And I told you, I am fully capable. When I need my husband is always there for me. But I told you, Darius is light work. We got this. So don't worry about how.
So what do you want to happen to Darius? Do you want him to go to jail? Do you want to go to prison? Like, what do you want to happen? Because people.
I want Darius to. I'll answer your question. I want Darius to be held accountable for the horrible things that he's done to me, and there are those out there and that is why people take this seriously. I'm in the process of getting a law passed in Georgia, working with my local senator to make doxing against the law in Georgia. There's no reason why. Darius has put people's social security numbers online, people's addresses, phone numbers, all when he gets pissed off at them. People have been inundated with hateful phone calls, emails, DMs, just because he gets angry at you. Darius uses his audience, and some of them are simple enough to allow him to weaponize. They'll go online.
You have proof to back that up?
People, but yes, I do. And if I didn't have proof of it, why hasn't Darius sued me? Why hasn't Darius sued me for defamation? See, he tried that little TPO stuff, and he failed at that. So if there's anything, and I've been standing up for myself for quite a while. Darius, all the things that Darius keeps telling you, where's the proof? Did you ask Darius? Darius, you say this woman sent you hate mail. Do you have proof of that? Did you ask Darius that? Because he'll sit up and tell you a lie. Oh, that was done on Eventbrite. I don't have Eventbrite anymore. That's a lie. I've only emailed Darius when talking about the functions and so on and so forth at Darius@DariusCooks.com. That's the only email address I had from them. To which he responded and said, "You're right, Mel," so on and so forth. But then he gets online and tells all y'all I was stalking him. And I sent him hate mail and called him a faggot. I would never do that. And I did not do that to that man.
So I want to make it plain that
but he says that, and that pisses his audience off.
Okay.
And then his audience comes in and they say, "Oh, I can't believe she said that," because people are stupid enough to believe what comes out of his mouth.
So I want to make sure so the people
that his audience will believe anything that comes
I hear
out
your
of
point
his mouth.
because people were saying, "How do you get on the show?" She tagged me and Roland Martin in a post. I didn't even know your information because I thought you were, living your best life, not on Twitter. But you were on Twitter and you tagged me.
I am living my best life.
And thank you. You tagged me and Roland Martin in the post, and you said I was not fair by not having you on the show, not having all parties.
That's not what I said.
On the show.
Don't do that, sir.
Okay.
Don't do that, sir.
Can you tell us what you said?
No, don't do that. You're lying.
Okay,
You're
can
lying.
You tell us what you said?
I didn't say you weren't. You read it. I said, to be fair, you should have all that are involved. I didn't just say me. I said all involved. You let Darius get on there and spread his lies without any context, without any. Then you reached out to Lavelle.
We reached out to Lavelle.
And I said, yep, you reached out to Lavelle. And I said, to be fair, you should extend an invite to all involved. Because Darius mentioned my name on your show. When you got online talking about Darius was innocent, you were talking about an action that I was involved in. So I could speak to my action because clearly Darius is going to lie and you sitting up there co-signing his lies. So yeah, I made sure because I did not know who you were before then. I saw it on Twitter that Darius was on your show. I had no idea who you were. But when you're going to sit up there and co-sign something and not be wise enough to get all of the facts, no, I wasn't going to stand there for that. No, absolutely not. Darius was not found innocent of anything. He just didn't have to come off of a little coin. And that's good because the way he having them 70% off sale, apparently money is an issue. Seemingly, it's all over the internet. So he wasn't found innocent. I'm going to say this again because you seem to have a problem saying it. Darius took out a fake TPO against me, lied on that TPO. I was never in court. He went in there and lied to the people, talking about, oh, she been bothering me since 2016. But when he got in front of the court, because he ain't that dumb, and they asked him, oh, when's the last time you heard from her? Darius said it's been 5-6 years. How are you stalking somebody if you didn't talk to him in 6 years? Darius came looking for what I had to say. Darius uses stuff like this just like you're using it to get online, and he has a bunch of people just sitting there waiting for the drama, waiting to be cool for him. His numbers are never as good as they are as when he's discussing me, the hashtag. I say that. And you say, oh, it's like she likes it. You talk, it's like she likes it. Where do you get that from? Go back and look at my life, sir. I didn't even have social media. I had to dust my Twitter off.
Mm-hmm.
Go and see where you can find me on social media. I'm not looking for this attention, but I'm in the city in which unfortunately, in the same city where this man is. Do you know what it must feel like, Mr. Wiley? You know, you go and you meet somebody new. People are curious about you. And what's the first thing people do? They Google you. And now the first time people Google me, I got to worry about them finding some BS that Darius put up saying that I stalked him. Mm-hmm. This is the same man that posts people's children because he said, oh, well, their mama came after they mama mad at me. Darius will go as low.
So I want to make sure, because I do have a legal expert.
And see, every time, that's another thing I want to point out. Every time I point out something very clear about his behavior, you want to hop in really quick.
I want to say this because doxing, because you bring it up about doxing, that is not illegal in the state of Georgia. You do understand. So what he's doing, right. He have not broken any law. So we can't just keep bringing that up because he didn't break a law.
Yes,
because that's not illegal. So he can't go to jail. So you can't call the cops and say, hey, he posts a picture of me on social media. That's not illegal.
Okay. I want you to hear yourself for a moment.
But that's not illegal, ma'am.
You're missing the point. You're missing the point. There used to didn't be laws on a number of things. Slavery used to be okay.
Absolutely, but we're not talking about slavery. We're talking about you getting private information.
No, I'm answering your point.
Okay.
It's not illegal. Just because it's not illegal doesn't mean it's wrong. And it takes time for laws to be changed. And I made it clear to you, I'm one of the people that's helping to make sure that it's changed in Georgia.
And what's your updates on that?
It's not illegal to do a lot of things, but it takes time for society to catch up, for things to look badly. I mean, it used to not to be illegal to smoke on an airplane. It's illegal now. Why? Because laws change. So you to try and make a point that, oh, it's not illegal that he doxed you, does it really have to be illegal for him not to put somebody's home address? It's dangerous out here. Why would you want to put somebody in danger like that?
Well, I didn't see any I didn't see any evidence or proof of him doing that, ma'am. I didn't see any proof of that.
He had a problem with it.
I didn't see any proof of him doing that. So if you have any of that could run across my desk and I can brush over it. But as of right now,
all you got to do is look at his Instagram page.
I looked at his. I see food being posted on the Instagram page.
And I'm sure you didn't look for the proof since you up there from my see. I told y'all Darius is innocent. People close their eyes to the things that they don't want to see.
How do you know I said that, Mel? Do you follow me on social media? Because you said you didn't know me.
What? I didn't know you.
Okay,
but I'm not dumb enough to not come on your show and educate myself a little bit. No, I didn't know you before yesterday. Had no clue to who you were.
Okay.
What's your point? I do now.
And you do now.
And I'm sure I don't know the totality of who you are.
And you said
that takes time, right?
Right. And I said that I told y'all that Darius is innocent. And I've said that he have not been charged criminally. Your situation that you have lost with the legal fees. He do not have to pay that. And so he just have a victory. So I don't see him.
Okay. So and I had a victory when he lost TPO. You gonna say that too?
Well, I don't know anything about that. I don't have anything to do with it. That was in the past. I'm more so focused on yesterday when he posted those documents.
That's what I'm saying. You sound ridiculous right now. This is really hilarious.
No, man, I'm just
So
saying.
you don't have anything. It's a part of the same case. They're not two separate cases. It's the same case. Those aren't two different cases. So you say, I don't have anything to do with that. That was the past. You're speaking on the same case. There is not two different cases. But see, that shows your lack of preparedness. Did you not educate yourself on the very thing that you're speaking on?
I did, but I did see you on his ex on his ex Lavelle show. It's like you in the mess, ma'am. You don't see that you in the mess a little bit because you went on his.
I definitely see. I'm in the mess today. I definitely see in defending myself that Darius is a low individual. And in responding to him, because as I said, and it's almost like, I don't know, like you can't hear it, maybe because you don't want to hear it. Darius is a harmful individual. Sometimes you can take the high road and you say, you know what, I'm just not going to speak to that. I'm going to go ahead and ignore that. And I did that for a long time. But when you have a sick individual who seems to get joy out of hurting people and hurting you and keeps putting your address up there and keeps lying on you and keeps on and keeps on and keeps kicking and keeps kicking and seems to take pride in it, who comes back and says, oh no, I'm going to keep going. Darius has posted and said, oh no, they're going to get tired before I do. Darius finds joy in this. Darius gets clicks and views off of this. If people stop following and contributing to the mess, Darius doesn't get this kind of interaction when he's cooking. Trust and believe. He does not. He said it himself. That's why his feelings were so hurt. And he sat on there with Kevin on stage. See, Kevin on stage originally took him at his word. But then when he did some research, he was like, oh, I disavow. When he did his research, he really found out who Darius was and that he wasn't this millionaire. And he said, I'm cutting ties with Darius. So do your homework. Just because Darius tells you something, or even because he may send you a bank statement, or he gets online and he shows you a Shopify balance and all of that other kind of stuff. Be thorough. If you're going to be fair, do a thorough job before you make an assessment or a judgment about who I am and who he is. Just be fair. Ask questions. Don't make declarations.
I hear that, but you know, I had an entire meeting with a group of black men, and one of the things is we must allow women to be in their place and allow the men to take on the stresses. Women should not be coming after another man. The man should do that. So I had a whole conversation about, in this situation, I think that you would be in a better place spiritually and emotionally if you didn't get involved with that.
First of all, let me tell you something. You are in no position to speak on what place I'm in. You don't know that. And second of all, maybe it's easy for me to deal with Darius as a female because he surely acts like a female a lot. He gossips. He's mean-spirited.
Men gossip.
Smacking and carrying on. So since you're talking about what men need to do, maybe your group of men friends need to get together and try to help your friend Darius be a better man. That's what you do. So women like me aren't out here having to cater to him and try to get him to be a better man because he's got a whole group of women who ain't saying nothing to him. But the ones that try to say, hey, don't do that, that's wrong, he seems to have a problem with it. So save your advice for me. I'm good over here. You go talk to your friend that you support. Because when you can sit there and say, well, no, that's in the past, I can't say that. It ain't in no past. You're showing yourself as being biased and full of stuff. It's the same lawsuit. And he lost it. The only thing the judge said is you don't have to pay her fees. Is that considered somewhat of a win for him? I would assume that it would be. But let me tell you this thing, and then I'm going to go because I've given you enough of my time. Like I said before, money comes and goes. Money comes and goes. You only have one name. And Darius himself has said, my name is Darius Williams, but don't Google me. You Google him, his name is trash. It has been trash for a long time. Does he have supporters? Absolutely.
I Google him, I get a lot of massive good support when I Google Darius' name. Absolutely.
Okay. So you see nothing bad. Okay.
I see people that are
you know what?
that
maybe,
couldn't get with Darius because Darius
maybe you're
doesn't.
on a different search engine.
Yeah, I get that. But I
think there's enough evidence out there that supports.
I did see you on his X
agencies like the Better Business Bureau who sees
that's a biased
millions of
organization.
businesses
That's a
that
biased
will pick
organization.
your business out and then say how bad you are.
That's a
Literally,
bias. Anybody can flood that with bad
trail
reviews,
of-
man.
Darius has anybody could, but when the agency itself says we're going to put a warning against you, when you have Peabody award-winning journalists that you got to run from and say, call my lawyer. You know, Darius has a history of this, and this is not just a one-time thing.
Well, he's not obligated. He's not obligated to talk to mainstream media for clicks and views and ratings. He's not obligated to do so.
For Darius, that's great. You will take this and you will do with it what you will. I've said what I said, and I stand by what I said.
I get what ma'am. You are a strong black woman. I get that. I'm very fair. But me, how I look at it, and this is me.
I'm not asking you. I don't care how you look at it.
I'm being fair. I'm being very fair. Very fair.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't care how you look at it. As a journalist or as someone that's bringing information, you shouldn't be inserting yourself at all. You should only be providing a platform.
I'm not a journalist like Roland Martin that got his show canceled from TV1. I am just I'm a commentator. I'm not like Roland Martin that's on YouTube as well. So technically he's a YouTuber like everybody else.
Let me be clear. I am in no way will I ever put you in the same category as Roland Martin.
He's on YouTube like me. He's on YouTube, so you were on YouTube.
You are nothing. No, dear. No.
He was on YouTube.
Not in the same category.
And he promotes his Cash App. He said the same thing, man. He's on YouTube.
No. But just because Roland's on YouTube, Roland also wears pants. You wear pants, but that don't mean that y'all the same kind of brother. And y'all for damn sure ain't the same kind of brother. I entertained you, gave you the time. You're going to do what you need to do. You are going to, what it seems to, I hope you don't. You're going to act like people can't call in. You're going to act like
this show, man, we take hundreds of callers, and I was getting emails. I didn't know your information, and you tagged me in the middle of the night with me and Roland Martin, and I said, okay, well, I will bring you on the show. If I would have known you, I would have asked Darius, hey, do you want to have a conversation? I don't know, I didn't catch your name, sister, but would you want to have a conversation with her? And you all can just have resolve this, because I think it would have been great.
I don't need to sit around in a circle and sing Kumbaya with Darius. I don't need you to provide an intervention. You provided Darius with a platform. You spoke on the case. So again, that shows how ill-prepared you are. Because had you done your research, you would have known, because you spoke on the lawsuit. So for you to sit here and try to play ignorant, like, well, I didn't know who you are. You didn't try to know who I am, because you already had your mind made up. You showed me who you were. I'm just entertaining this. You showed me who you were when you said, oh, I told y'all Darius was innocent. And there is a reason why. And this is what you need to recognize. There's a reason why Darius entertains people like you.
Okay, tell us why.
Because people like you have shown yourselves to be in support of him. Individuals that ask, even people that ask him the hard questions, he won't go there. Darius made the comment something, and I saw it. Darius said
he went on the shade room. They asked some hard question on the shade room, so that's not true.
Why would I go on Roland? Because Roland already has his mind made up. Well, you already have your mind made up because you said he was innocent. He had no problems coming on your show.
And he went on the
shade room. He went on to the shade room thinking the shade room was going to favor him. He went on to Black Enterprises telling everybody that Black Enterprises was going to do a retraction, and they land blasted his behind and went even harder. Kia Morgan Smith, she did not retract what she had to say. Darius went online telling everybody how Black Enterprise was going to issue him an apology, so on and so forth. Black Enterprise, they have seasoned veteran journalists who vet their stories and who vet what people say. And when they dig deep, they reported exactly who Darius was, and he didn't like it. You, on the other hand, have shown us time and time again, you're not doing your research. You're just taking Darius at his word.
Did you watch the full interview, ma'am? Did you watch the full interview? Because we asked
talking about what you haven't seen. What you have not seen is what you have not looked for. If you were interested in the truth, and if you were interested in getting this full story for what it is, then you would be looking on both sides. You are trying to defend somebody that you like for whatever reason. And then thinking everybody else is a hater or going too hard or going too strong or so on and so forth. And that is not your place. If you are clearly only wanting to present the facts, then you should do that and leave your opinion to yourself. I thank you for this time.
Thank you, ma'am.
I appreciate you allowing me to come on.
Thank you, ma'am.
And you have a blessed evening and happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays. Thank you. Wow. That was an exclusive interview with a woman that is scorned, and a woman that is scorned, and she have a lot of stuff to say. And I want to give commentary. We're going to talk about Megan Thee Stallion. I'm going to get back into that. But my thing is this: if I was married as a woman, if I had a husband, I would want my husband to lead in this situation, because Darius is a man, and I understand what she's coming for. She's saying all this stuff, but she is inserting herself in the drama and the mess. And I think that this is a scorned woman, in my humble opinion. But where's her husband, is what I'm saying. I think the husband should get involved. Yes, you're live on the Wiley Show. Hold on one second. Let me put you on speaker. Hold on one second. Yes, ma'am. Hello?
Am I a speaker now?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, yes.
Good. I just heard the conversation, and I must say, Wiley, I think the lady brought up some very good points. I support her. I do believe, Wiley, that it is important. I watch your show. I've said to you that I believe God has a call in your life, and I do believe in, you talk a lot about how men should protect women. And I think what she's saying, she seems to be a very well put together woman. And, true, if you can look at the court documents, if you can look at things from the Better Business Bureau, research is extremely important. I think in terms of your own credibility, it would be a good idea not to taunt someone like her. Seems to me it's better to be neutral. In this situation, she is speaking facts. And I think if we're going to talk about, even just to go to the Megan situation trial, and you talk about how we should protect women, we should protect women like this, who actually seems to have a lot going for herself, trying to do the right thing. She's not lying about anything. And all it takes is for men to do their research, do what they need to do, and be protective of the right thing. This brother may be entertaining, he may be whatever, but if he's done something wrong, then that's something, Wiley, you should stand against.
Well, again, I highly doubt that. If you're married, shouldn't your husband get involved in this? Yes or no?
Well, I feel like this, Wiley. I mean, you control that, and you can. And
I'm asking a very question. If you have a husband, meaning a man, you the woman, and you going out the man, shouldn't your husband step in and say something? Yes or no?
Well, how do we know? Can I say this? How do we know?
He haven't said anything. She's doing all the talking. She's on Twitter. She's going on Darius Cook's X platform. Shouldn't the husband say something? If my wife is being taunted by a man, I'm going to defend my wife. Like, I don't understand that part.
Well, may I answer your question? Because I don't think this should be misogynistic. I think that Wiley, this woman, and we as women, we have a right to speak up for ourselves, even if we are married. And I think that is a woman's choice, whether or not she decides to get a husband involved. We're not women that are told what to do. We're not slaves. We are women that work very hard, uphold our communities in the Black community. We're the backbone of the community.
those of us, not everybody out here is trying to get a man, take him for his money, do whatever. And even if you find a woman that might be on a stripper pole or whatever the case you may think of her, there's a lot of absentee fathers. And there's a lot of women that have to be both mother and fathers. In this woman's case, she has a husband. But she is also a very strong woman who has a strong voice and has a right to speak up for herself.
I believe that, but I think her husband should. Man, ain't no way in the world I'm gonna let my wife. It's a couple. Okay, let me say this: that go to court, get that resolved, going after another man, and I don't say nothing. You are a weak man. I can say that because I'm a man.
Well, my thing is how do you know what kind of support system he is?
He have not done that, man. I've done the research. Can you show me proof that her husband done any interview to speak on her behalf? Have done any interviews on Twitter? He have not done any of that. She's doing all the talking. This lady got on a whole plane, went to Roland Martin on YouTube where he begged for cash out the super chats. The same thing that Wiley does, right? And he said he's a real journalist. I've never seen Don Lemon beg for cash outs. But I'm gonna say this, right? Where is the husband is what I'm talking about, and the husband is needed.
And that is my question is this: what is wrong and for a woman to speak up for herself? You can ask where's the husband, but you're asking as if she as a woman doesn't have a right to take a stand to do what she feels she needs to do for herself. In other words, she has a right. And I'm talking about women's rights.
She should have a right, but if you have a husband, it's his right to stand up for his wife.
Let me say, I agree with you in a sense that men should protect women, whether they're married to them or not. And so in your case, even though you're not married to her, you have court documents before you. You have the Better Business Bureau. It is your job that if you know a woman is right and you do your proper research.
She's trying to take down an organization, the man, and stuff like that. Most people that I've talked to, a lot of people, I talked to Kathy, I talked to Kareen, I talked to Samantha and others that actually bought cookbooks from Darius, supported Darius. I've gotten emails that said Darius is a good guy. They said, why does this lady keep responding to Darius? She should have known if she's married and happy. Why do you keep responding to Darius? That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. If me and you were married, I would stop it. If me and you was married and going out and I would stop it as a man, or I would have to divorce you and marry somebody else.
Well, listen to this. Like I said, Wiley, she got a very good point. I think if you look at those court documents, I think if you do.
What about the court documents? I said that I told you that Darius is innocent. He have not been thrown in jail. That's what I was thinking of. He's innocent. He have not been thrown in jail. He have not been indicted. He's not in no handcuffs. He's innocent. He's not guilty.
Okay, well, you know what? I think you think Megan Thee Stallion's going. This whole thing is going to turn out a certain way too, because I think at the end of the day, Wiley, like I said, this may be good for views. People might like to see when you playing devil's advocate, but I think there's certain things that you need to be very serious about.
I am being very serious about it. Again, a man supposed to be the head of the household. A man supposed to be the head of the household. If your wife is being taunted by a man, your husband's supposed to have it, not the woman. I stand on that. I'm not trolling. This is what I believe.
Well, I've asked you several times. May I finish? Because I do think a man should not yell over a woman. I'm asking you nicely. I'm not being disrespectful towards you. So I do think it's fine for you to get your point, but I think we can discuss this civilly. And my point to you is that since you are a man and you do have the ability to research this, she made some very good points. She's not wrong. And you can say how innocent you think he is, but do you have enough to substantiate what you're stating?
Absolutely. I've talked to many people. I talked to many people about Darius behalf. He's innocent.
And she would not have stated what she did if it was not factual. And I think as much as I like entertainment, I like to hear the truth. And I like facts. And I like to know that the people I'm listening to is doing their research.
This is not CNN or MSNBC. I am an entertainment blog. I'm here to entertain you.
Look, Wiley, I'm sure you got to get it. At the end of the day,
this is entertainment. If you it's entertainment. And I definitely, me and you may disagree. And I don't know if you're married or not, but I was raised that if you're married, your husband's supposed to handle that business. Her going after a man, right? Where's the husband? And that is a very valid question. And she got offensive, right? She got very masculine energy, and I understand it. Maybe she wear the pants in a relationship, and that's fine. But if she was my wife, I would handle it.
Wiley, I do have a question about this, since you are very much into this traditional way of thinking. What about the part of how men are supposed to be when it comes to any woman, whether they're married to them or not? What about your own duty of knowing, if you consider the woman to be of the weaker vessel, your duty to be protective? Your duty is to stand up for what's right. Your duty is, if a woman does have, a good point, to do your proper research, because at the end of the day, even if she does not have her husband present, you are present and you are a man. And just like I, as a woman, I may see another brother go through something, but you know what? If I do see something that's not right, I stand up for it. I can be a woman, also understand my position. And I think you should understand yours better.
All right. Thank you so very much for calling in.
Well, bless you. Have a good one.
Bless you. Okay, now let me charge this phone up because it's at 20%. So don't nobody else call in. Y'all use the StreamYard. We're gonna get back to Tori and Megan Thee Stallion in a second. So I just want to make it clear that the lady, she called in and we were supposed to bring her on StreamYard. She was stuck in traffic and we did the improv interview. I want to make it plain. She tagged me and Roland because I didn't know she existed. I didn't know her. I knew she existed, but I didn't know her social media. I thought she was, living her married life. And then she was on Twitter. Like I was sending the video out to people that were tagging Darius. And so she added me. Not only did she add me, she added Mr. Roland as Martin, right? She said, you need to be fair, have all parties on there. And so I reached out to her and I said, hey, I will be fair. You come on the show. I sent her the link and all of that. Now we reached out to his ex. She responded to that post, right? Didn't have nothing to do with her. I said, hey, mister, I heard that you was the ex of Darius and I would love to bring you on the Wiley Show. Sent him the tweet. She responded to that tweet. You need to be fair. You need to do this. You need to do this. You need blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, let me reach out to her and send her an invitation for the show, right? We sent her an invitation for the show. We sent her a link of the show. And we having a conversation, all right? So for me, either you are a clout chaser, because this is the thing, you guys. If you are trying to make policy and you're trying to make policy to make cyberbullying a crime, then put more interest in there. Talk to Stacey Abrams and other people. But again, I believe she's a little bit clout chasing and she's trying to shield it with being a victim. Yes, you're live on the Wiley Show.
Hey, Wiley. For entertainment purposes, her trigger word is you saying something about her husband. That's when she go off real nasty nice with you. And then two, I think why you had that lady on here saying coochie. She sounds really educated and aware, very self-aware, and you had her on here saying coochie. I like to die. But I think her point was the guy that you interviewed before,
Darius,
his credibility is shot. Yeah, his credibility is shot on the internet. And for him to put out her name and people Google her and to have her name associated with this drama and this immaturity, I think that's more of an embarrassment to her. So she's just like trying to do whatever.
And can I answer that? You would never clean that up. The more she responds to it, guess what people are going to do? They're going to continue to get involved in it. She should just completely be silent and move on with her life. But she's trying to fight a battle where she's not going to win. She's not that literate in social media. She don't have the following. You can't win against a gay man that know how to roast and gag and have a social media following. It's just she's at a loss.
I think her intellectual level is above.
But
she's not willing to stoop that low.
She's not absolutely, and she ain't going. She ain't gonna win, is what I'm saying, and she's not winning in there. Like she's more because everybody is not going to believe. It's going to be somebody that's not going to believe that there is. Obviously, people are still buying that man cookbook. They're still buying that man. They're still buying that man pots and pans.
That's understandable. everybody's buying his cookbooks. Everybody has a chance to get scammed, basically, is what you're saying.
Everybody, no, I don't think everybody is being scammed. I just think that, I just think that he still have an audience, and I think that she's trying to discourage people to being fans of Darius, and you're not. People are gonna be fans of him regardless. It is what it is.
He can still be a good cook, and he can still have good recipes at the same time, still giving out bad customer service. I have a favorite store that I go to, and 60% of the time their customer service is good, and the other 40%, I can say that I've witnessed them give poor customer service. Now it's up to me to give my money to that company or not. So his credibility can be shot just by, it's just not her. She's just brave enough to speak up about it, because everybody else is probably not going to come on a public platform and speak about him because they don't want to be publicly dragged as like he's doing now.
Well, she's everywhere. She went to Roland Martin. She's here and there. She went. She's everywhere. Me personally,
and I think her husband not getting involved because she feels like she's a woman, but she has enough aggression in her to handle a man.
Again, that's a weak husband. I speak to that husband, Shane. He got to be very weak, because ain't no way in the world I'm going to allow Mrs. Wiley to go back and forth with another man, then go on another man platform talking about another man, and I'm married to you. You are a weak man. Because if you was a weak man of standard and wisdom, I would tell my wife, we hold on, I'm gonna tell you right then and there to that man. I'm like, babe, we are not going to let that man talk. We moving on with our married life. But ain't no way in the world I'm gonna have a whole husband and you doing all the talking. That's the problem in relationships. The women doing all the talking and the man ain't doing nothing. I don't understand that.
With that man, he's going to get physical. It ain't gonna be.
It ain't nothing but get physical. But again, having your wife, having her blood, having your wife getting her blood pressure. I'm saying this, having your wife getting her blood pressure up. That's sad on you as a husband. I'm gonna ask you, are you married with your husband? Because this is a mess. A hot mess.
Probably like, why are you even on there watching someone like this?
I would say the same thing. At least your husband can say.
A lot of us do, though.
But why you? Why are you just keep
because we're bored and we're tired of watching?
Getting involved in that? You got a whole husband. Cook your man a meal. Give your man some loving. And give your man some loving. You won't have this energy.
I'm cooking and listening to your show right now.
I get that, but you're not. Okay, it's different. You are watching because you are a fan, right? But if somebody is taunting you on Twitter trying to start a campaign, you trying to change the law in Georgia, then you go to court, then you on his X platform, which he biased because he's an ex of Darius. You're talking to him, then you on somebody else's platform. Like all of that energy could be used of changing the laws that you're trying to change. She has
to know when to take someone like him serious, and I think she's just a serious woman. Half of the stuff you say, I don't agree with, but I find quite funny and entertaining.
Absolutely.
When you say a woman needs to stand up when a man
Absolutely.
Room, I laugh at that.
I know she's not gonna stand because she wear the pants in a relationship. But
you would get upset if you say, I wouldn't let that get me upset because I know I'm not standing when a man walking around.
But you know,
it's
it's just like when she called in, she already was mad. This what triggered that lady because I tagged Darius in a post. I right, but before the husband piece. When I tagged the lady in the post, when I tagged Darius in the post, and I said, I told y'all Darius is innocent, that triggered her. And then she gossiped with somebody and said, don't go on Wiley platform. He been on there for 10 years, only got 29,000 subscribers. So you already messy in the mess. Like this ain't this. You knew she was gonna come looking for you when you said that man was innocent. But my thing is this. I stand on it. He innocent. I don't care. You talk about the better business bureau. You can say all this stuff. He's still innocent in my eyes. You can't change it, just like I can't change your opinion of telling you how to run your relationship.
So give him the social security number and let him do something.
I'm not. But this is the thing. I'm not giving nobody my social security number. you know what I'm saying? But ma'am, this is the part where I'm confused at, and maybe you understand this. I'm confused at where did she go wrong with Darius? Because I'm confused at that. Like, what was the break?
You know what? I know where she went wrong. She went wrong because she was listening to him roast someone, and she had empathy and sympathy, not knowing that anybody can get dragged on any given day for his views and his entertainment. I don't think she know how to separate the two. She actually was looking at him and taking him as a serious businessman, which he is, but on the side, he is an entertainer.
So to make it simple, somebody was getting dragged, and she defended, and then she got dragged.
Wait a minute, he's not who I think he is. He's not this articulate.
That is funny.
Talking like that.
That is funny. That is.
So I don't think she was familiar with the culture of things.
Yeah, no, wow. It's funny. It's funny, but I've told people that get on the internet and they get in these things. I said, listen, there was one sister. She was mad because a blogger told her go off herself because she wanted to give the lady some furniture. The lady said go off yourself. She got offended. So what did she do? She showed up to the IHOP. I told her showed up to the IHOP, and the lady hit her and sat on her. And then she talking about, oh, I'm hurt. I got all these disabilities, but you shouldn't have done it. Like, these are fully grown women with lives. What makes you do something like that? But again, to her, she ain't gonna learn it, because what's she gonna do? She gonna go on Twitter, is she gonna tag Roland Martin? Like, you
gotta realize they are just stepping into this social media world. They're taking, like, this is new for them. They don't know that social media world is not all reality. It's some reality and some fantasy. So they're coming in and taking everything serious because they're not, like you said, she's not savvy with social media apps. So,
absolutely.
She probably could look at somebody's picture and think that that's how they really look. And we all know the ones that savvy, like, oh, that's a filter. Oh, that's not a filter. She probably doesn't even know the difference between that.
Absolutely.
So,
and see, this is what she said on her Twitter. She said, pay attention at Wiley Show. You might learn how to do this the correct way. At Roland S. Martin knows how it should be done. All voices are given an opportunity to be heard.
She gotta stop treating y'all. She's looking at y'all like Oprah Winfrey.
And we're not Oprah. I don't even look like Oprah. Roland, this is what she said. She said this. Roland doesn't do one-sided BS, and Darius Crooks can keep that gay BS. He was just afraid of Roland. # Darius Crooks. This is what another tweet she said. I asked at Wiley Show to consider inviting all involved. Let's see what happens. At # Darius Crooks tends to only interview with those who side with him and are willing to peddle this BS. At Roland Martin, extended an invitation to both sides, and Darius Crooks was too afraid to show up. I'm not. And then Roland Martin, with his messy behind, retweeted the tweet. So this is why I'm involved. I wasn't paying that lady no attention. I did the interview with Darius and left it alone. She took it to the Twitter streets. And so that's music to my ears. And let me go ahead and respond on my show.
So the moral to this case is we are going to buy Darius' book, but we are not going to let Darius fix our credit. We're not going to give him our social security number. We're not going to do anything like that. And
what's up, you guys? I got it on my gray today, and we got some people backstage, and we're gonna resume that again. We did a restream of Sister Sister Obsessed that want to be Mrs. Cooks, and we have some people backstage, and they want to give their thoughts about this, and then I'm gonna get into DJ tWitch. Let's go backstage. All right, you're live on the air. Hello. Can you hear me? Hello? Kelly?
Yeah, okay. I didn't know you were talking to me. How you doing today, Wiley?
I'm doing all right.
Okay, well, I just wanted to tell you, Wiley, I agree with everything that you said. Was that yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
I agree with everything you said. My problem is this right here. What married woman have the time to go back and forth with a man when you got a man? You can't tell me her husband sitting there letting her go back and forth like that with a man. He with his side piece while you argue with Darius Cook. I guarantee you, ain't no man finna do that. My husband is gonna take up for me. I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna tell him what happened, and I'm gonna let him take control of the wheel and keep my mouth closed and move on. What woman drags something? Oh, this been going on since the pandemic, right? I remember this on another show, right, Wiley? This happened in 20. It was like in 2020.
This happened in right about 2020. Yes, we're in 2022, about to be in 2023.
Yeah, because another show made her sound like a fool too, because she was presenting facts like you was. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
My thing about it is a lot of women, they get so mad when you say, "Well, where the husband at?" or "Why her husband not speaking up?" What you married for? Why are you married when if your husband can't take up for you? What person would stress themselves out 2 years on a man that's still making money? Darius Cook still making money. He's still booked and busy. You haven't changed any laws. You should be talking to Stacey Avery instead of on YouTube. And Roland Martin is just like you, Wiley. He get cash out, begging for membership and everything else. You know, he worse than you. You know what I'm saying? He worse than you. He treated crew like trash. So I don't understand why was to throw off on that. I don't understand that. But I just want to say that I agree 100% on what you're saying. No man is gonna let his wife take the wheel like that. I don't care how many callers these women callers are single women. Even I'm gonna give you an example. I got a gay cousin, right? She is married, right? When her wife have a problem or anything like that, she take control because she is the head of the house. You understand? When Tamika speaks, it's done. It's done. Leslie go sit down somewhere because she's the head of the house. It doesn't matter if it's the same sex or a man and woman, a wife and wife, a man and man. Somebody got to take control. You know what I'm saying? But you can't tell me that man got a side piece. That man ain't studying that woman. That man got a side piece. You carrying on too much. That man got a side piece. That man ain't still her. He let her carry on that mayhem, and he over there with that side piece. Because you can't tell him nothing, Wiley. You can't tell that woman nothing.
Wow.
What you think about that?
I think that for me, because it was very aggressive
Yes.
behavior. And people got upset. They said, why do you keep bringing up the husband? Because again, if you're having problems with a man, shouldn't your husband get involved and you get off the internet? For her, I think that either A, she enjoyed this attention from Darius because maybe she want to be with Darius. Because if you just don't like, I wouldn't give him the energy. I wouldn't give him the time. I actually went on her Twitter and she just be tweeting about Darius, hashtagging about Darius, doing Twitter spaces about Darius. Like, I just don't understand that. When do you have time to cater to your husband, cook for your husband, and be for your husband? I just don't understand that.
Who would mentally put that much in another person?
Mm-hmm.
Who would give Darius Cook all that attention? Nobody in their right mind. I never give my enemies attention. I pay them dust. You know, I got a coworker that I work with every night. I hate her guts. I act like I don't even see her. I pay her dust. You know what I'm saying? Because my focus on my family, my focus on growing my business. Who would give somebody all their free time like that? No one. And her husband should make her stop. That's stressful. But I agree with you, Wiley. And are you gonna talk about the Megan Thee Stallion case?
Oh yeah, that's gonna be in the next video because they haven't have no updates because right now it's about 9:58. So they just now hitting the court. I don't think they started yet for day 5.
Well, may I make a comment from the other day?
Okay, go ahead.
I really feel like that Kelsey is deliberately throwing Megan up under the bus, because not throwing up on the bus, but not saying too much or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because I agree with Miss Barbara on one fact. If this woman got a pattern of going behind you or sleeping with the men that you've been with, I feel like there's a problem, like with Kelsey. And I feel like how Megan got online and said, them bees in jail. I remember she made the post, said, them bees in jail, I'm at home. I don't know what they're gonna do or something like that. Why would I say anything? Why would I? You're not a good friend. You made a diss track about me and everything. I agree with Armand Wiggins on it. You know, why would I? I don't know anything either. You're not a good friend. You're not. I hate Megan Thee Stallion got shot. But if it were me, and if I had a choice, I wouldn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't have. Was she subpoenaed, Wiley?
Yeah, she had to testify. Absolutely.
Well, I would tell the truth to him. Okay. I didn't. Okay, well, it's different. But I can't understand her feeling. But well, she got to tell the truth. Well, yeah. Well, I take everything back I said. I just,
Right.
I didn't get that.
I'm gonna go to the next person. Thank you, sis. Thank you, Kelly. Okay. We have somebody else backstage, and we're gonna bring them on. Give me a second, and then we will take the calls. I think I received 2 calls, so I'm gonna go and take those 2 calls. But we do have somebody backstage. Hello, you live on the air.
Hi, good afternoon, Wiley.
Hello.
I'm so sorry. I have been cracking up about this. So yesterday I was following all about Darius Cooks, and I really intently listened. And before I get into all the commentaries, one thing I want to say is that typically when people are guilty, and I think I was texting you this while you were on yesterday, when people are guilty, they're not going to show up. They're not going to tell their side of the story. They're not going to bring forth facts and say, you can research this, that, and a third. So what happened yesterday was I was really proud of Darius because I was watching this story years ago when it started unfolding, right? And I honestly felt like what he was saying was on point. When you're a Black person, typically in business in America these days, you're going to get slandered. You're going to get attacked on every level. And being a Black man in business for himself and making it, I can understand now why he had all this hate and all these people attacking him every single day. And when he broke down the relationship with him and his ex, and then think about it, Wiley, how about the best friend, right? Who partners up with the ex in order to bring Darius down. So what happens, especially in the gay community, I had a lot of gay friends and stuff. The gay men, like they call them the girls, right? The girls, when they get together, honey, it's like revenge, revenge, revenge when it comes to somebody they're trying to go after. I don't need Twitter world or your followers to come for me, but let's think about it. That's what a lot of those girls or whatever they call themselves, right, do. They attack the person and try to bring them down, but they didn't understand that Darius was one step ahead of them. So therefore, he was able to make something happen in these contracts, and it made them look stupid, which made them even more upset. And it's kind of like the same thing that's going on with Megan Thee Stallion now. With this girl, ex-girlfriend of hers, her best friend or whatever, they're going at it. Somebody gets shot. Now it's all crazy. But going back to Miss Lady who called in earlier, oh my God, like I didn't understand the dynamic initially until the previous caller said it, where she came in. It's like, ma'am, you're coming into a war or a gunfight with a knife. You're not going to win. You are not going to win when you coming in here. You don't understand the dynamic. You don't understand the culture. And you're trying to showcase this behavior and it's not making sense. Now you're looking real stupid. But guess what, Wiley? One thing's for sure and 2 things for certain. If people listen to you, you have mad respect for Black for Black women. You're always talking about women should be respected. You always try to protect the Black women. It doesn't matter what you talk about or whatever, in joking and everything. You always have that same kind of MO. You're always sharing this type of attitude towards us, right? And the standing up thing or whatever is a little different, but I love it because you're bringing back a culture of respect for the Black male. And a lot of times we are so independent and we don't understand what's going on and how they beat us Black women down to make us beat you all down. Therefore, we've lost all respect for the Black male. And guess what? You're doing something that's really different. And you be joking, Wiley, but psychologically, you're putting something into our minds and our hearts to say,
yes.
right?
Oh, yes.
You agree, right?
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
You put in something in our minds and our hearts to agree. I see you laughing that we need to respect the Black male again. I don't care what nobody says. I'm an independent Black woman and I have my business. But guess what? I respect my husband. I have a Black son. And I need the women out there to listen to me carefully. Don't beat down Wiley for what happened today. Because at the end of the day, this woman doesn't understand 2022 lingo. I don't know how old she is, but she's definitely older than 40. She didn't understand Twitter. She didn't understand Facebook or Instagram. So when she came for Darius Cooks, right, she got she got herself handed to her. Because at the end of the day, you can't come for somebody and constantly be harassing them. Because I've seen it back in the day, right? I'm gonna get off the platform in 1 minute. I seen it for myself, so I know what I'm talking about. This lady was constantly trying to drag, and she didn't understand what dragging was about. So when it happened back to her, my girl got offended and started flipping out. Last but not least, when she says bring everybody on the platform, that is something that's done in the media world, like you said about Oprah, right? But it doesn't even have to be just about Oprah. She's talking about, like, for example, when politicians are going up for a campaign, for election, etc., you can't just have one campaigner on your platform. For the FTC to acknowledge that platform, all the participants have to be a part. This is not 104.3. This is not Hot 105 point whatever. This is a Wiley show, and he is literally able to share his views and the views of his listeners and viewers. So, Miss Lady, get your stuff together and understand he didn't even have to put you on today. But you're obviously stalking Darius to even know that Wiley had him on yesterday. So if Darius wants to take that to the bank, remind him that this woman even knew that he was on your platform. How did she know that? Right? So that's all I wanted to say, Wiley. Keep up the great work, boo. You know I'm listening, and I thank you for always sharing when you're online.
Thank you. All right, bye-bye. All right, you just never know who is definitely going to hit the link. We definitely going to go back to a caller because we received a voicemail, and we definitely are going to bring this caller on. Give me a second. We're calling you back from 5719. We're calling you back this way, and then we're going to get into DJ Twitch, and then we are going to come right back because we're going to be giving the coverage on day 5 of the state of California versus Tory Lanez, aka hello, yes, welcome to the Wiley Show. I see that you called into the show.
Wiley, what's going on?
Yes, sir. You left me a voicemail. What's going on?
Am I live before I start? My mouth get a little slippery.
You live? You live on air.
Wiley, you kept bringing up a point that her husband or a husband should defend his wife, which I think is true, and I believe in that. But Darius had a lot of opportunities to talk to the husband, especially the Hollands. It's the hashtag forever problem, and Darius did not want to do that. He did not want to talk to the husband. He has a mentality where he likes to bully women. And when a man is in front of him or approaching him, he has nothing else to say. He runs, he hides, he tucks tail. Mm-hmm. So I want to know what your point is that the man is supposed to defend his wife when the person we're trying to defend our wife against is running from us. Explain that to me.
Well, I don't necessarily think that Darius is running from the husband because the wife is doing all this conversation and all of that. the husband needs to interject.
We're not talking about males now. We're talking about the harlots.
The husband should stand up and say, you know what, baby, I don't know about you. If you want your wife going crazy on the internet, maybe that's you. But if that was my wife, I would stop it. I will put an end to it, because that to me is unacceptable. And it's not a good look as a wife running around trying to go after a man and just doing all these shows. She can use that energy by focusing on other things, her business, trying to change the law in Georgia and all of that. But going back and forth with Darius, she won't win that battle.
Okay, so you think it's a good look for this oversized man to come at this woman the way that he comes at this woman? The woman was only stating facts. There are facts against this guy, Darius, as far as the doxing go. And another thing I was listening to you about.
Doxing is not illegal, though, in the state of Georgia.
Doxing is not. It's not illegal in Georgia, but it's morally wrong. Do you think it's not morally wrong to post someone's kids?
No, if you have the kids public, there's nothing wrong with that, sir.
It's nothing wrong with posting someone's kids.
No, sir. They post Tory Lanez kids.
Okay.
Like it's public. If you have it public,
I see you're gonna defend him. I see you're gonna defend him.
No. If you have, and what I'm saying is, if you have something public, you can't get mad if somebody republish something that is public. If you don't want your kids published on a platform, don't put your kids on public platform. It's just that simple.
Okay. I see you riding. You're riding real well.
I'm not riding real well. I'm just giving my facts when it comes to that.
They had an event in Dallas.
Yes, sir.
The Airbnb owner, she got a wind of that he was holding a public event, which he was not supposed to be doing. Now, once she shut him down, he posted her phone number and address. Now, explain to me how that's okay.
I don't think that's illegal. I think that maybe was she a white woman? What was her race? What was her race?
I don't know what her race was.
She probably was a racist Republican. I highly doubt it. She probably was a white woman, racist, didn't want a black man to have a business and all of that. But if he was white, if he was white, I think she would allow. Hold on 1 second, sir. Hold on 1 second. If she was white, if he was white, I think she wouldn't mind him cooking some fried chicken. But because he was black, she messed up her own stove and just trying to take it on the black man. But again, if he was white, I think she would have a problem.
Whether she was white, black, green, or brown, does it make it okay for him to post her phone number?
I don't see any problem with that. Her phone number is already public. It's on Airbnb.
Oh my God, Wiley. You know what I wanted you to do? I thought you was going to be a fair and partial type situation.
I am very fair. We just disagree.
You were not. No, you were not.
You just don't agree with me.
Darius, when you talked to Darius the other night, you sat there and you were hypnotized by this guy.
I was not hypnotized. I asked Darius, sir. I asked him some very tough. I asked him.
You were rolling your eyes.
I asked Darius some very tough questions, and I just got off the phone. Hold on 1 second. I just got out. Hold on 1 second. I just got off the phone with Foxy Atlanta, and they said, "Can we use some of your clips? Because you definitely asked Darius some tough questions." So I don't know what you all talking about. I asked some very tough questions.
I need to go back and watch it because there wasn't any tough questions. You were condescending to that woman. You were very rude to her.
I was not very rude to her.
Mesmerized by Darius.
I asked him some very tough questions. Well, first and foremost, let me tell you this. First and foremost, Darius is an intelligent, successful black man, and also when I look at that brother, his products is selling off the shelves. He have millions of dollars in the bank. So I was putting honor. I was giving honor to Darius. But when she came on, very masculine, very aggressive, right? Because maybe she thought I was her husband when she could just run over me, and we had to ask her the tough questions. So and all that. But you didn't call into my show yesterday, sir.
Your journalism, no, there are receipts. There are receipts.
Receipts on what? What receipts, sir? What receipts?
You fail to look at the failed businesses and all the people that
he closed. It's not a failed business. He closed the
You fail to
business
look at
down.
the
Okay, can I
Carlisle
respond to
Crown
that?
Cake Company. You fail to look at
Can I
all of
respond to that?
situation.
It's
You
no
fail to hear what
different.
Vail
It
had to
is
say
no
about me.
different
You know
than
what?
Miss
He
Robbie.
talked
Can I
about his
respond,
food
sir?
truck and this and that about the money and
Can I respond, sir?
you fail to listen to that. It's obvious.
Can I respond, sir? Miss Robbie closed her restaurants down. Does that make her a failure? No. Businesses get shut down. You as a boss, if you decide to say,
Miss Robbie's restaurants were in business 10 plus years.
I understand that. But if you as a boss say, hey, I want to close. Hold on 1 second, sir. 1 second, sir. I want to close my business down, which he did a great job because again, a pandemic hit and he probably would have to close it down then because of the pandemic. But again, I think, and I want to say this to my brother. Hold on 1 second, sir. Let me say this and I'm about to talk. Let me say this and let me say this and let you talk. When I look at Darius, I see a great man. When I look on the internet, and I looked on the internet, and I googled, hold on 1 second, and I googled. Okay, can I say this? When I Google Darius Crooks, when the hashtag that's going around on Twitter, I only see 4 people tweeting about Darius being a crook. Where is these hundreds of people? It's only 4 people. 4 of them. 4 people.
I have to disagree.
It's 4 people.
See more than 4 people complaining about Darius Cook. Just listen to the way that he talks to his customers when things doesn't go right for them. He blocks them and gets his other customers or his other DYs to criticize those customers. The guy is not right. He has a mean, evil spirit. And Wiley,
did you buy a product? What's your order number? Did you buy a product? Did you buy a product?
Oh, let me block you, bitch. Bye.
Did you buy a product?
Let me block you. Bye.
Okay, did you buy a product? And if so, what's your order number?
My order number is do not buy from Darius Cook, 4321.
People are definitely buying for Darius Cook. I just had a lady I was talking to. She bought a lot of products from Darius, and she always said that she get her products. So again, I just don't understand why people.
Okay, I see you're an avid supporter, and hey,
I'm a supporter of greatness. You're upset, sir. You're upset. You didn't even buy a product from Darius. Did you buy a product from Darius? What is your order number, sir? What is your order number, sir? Sir, where's your order number? Did you buy a product? You didn't buy a product, so for you to call Darius a scammer is just irrelevant because you didn't even buy a product. You're going by what Mrs. Holland is saying.
You know why? You know what? I considered buying a product, but then you know what I did before I bought the product? I looked at the reviews. That's what I did. I was a smart shopper. I looked at the reviews before I bought a product, and I'm seeing more negative than I am seeing positive. So me being a Texan, we think before we do. And so before I jumped out the window, I looked at the reviews. That's what I did.
So again, I looked at the reviews. I got great reviews.
I don't know where you were looking, but I looked at the reviews. I needed a couple of knives. I do a little home cooking myself.
And again, sir, I would tell you this. I would tell you this. You're missing out on Darius Cook. You're missing out on that.
Look at the products, and after I read the reviews, some of the products that I've seen the same products on eBay. Stuff stuck out in the middle of the sea. And why would I spend an extra $80 for you just because, it's coming from you when I see the same product with your name on it on eBay?
Well, I want to say this, sir, and I'll say this from the heart. When I had a conversation with a good executive from Roland Martin, and we were talking, and I said the reason why he won't come on Roland Martin's show because Roland Martin overtalks people, and Roland Martin is messy. He's a very messy man. And over here at the Wiley Show, we gave out the red carpet, and I had a production meeting. I said, listen, we're going to ask Darius the tough questions with a good spirit. And we asked Darius some very tough questions. And Mrs. Holland, in the middle of the night, a married woman, right? She's married, right? Never seen her husband, you know, anything like that. But a married woman hit me up in the middle.
I've seen him on a couple of hashtags.
A married woman, a married woman hit me up in the middle of the night and tagged me with Roland Martin, and she came on my show very, very angry and masculine, and that's because either A, she's not getting it in the bedroom, or he's not, you know what I'm saying, and he's not hitting it, and he's not hitting that spot. Because again, she was so aggressive, and so I don't think she's getting in the bedroom like that.
Mama did not raise you like that to talk like that about women and what's going on.
I don't think she got it in the bedroom like that.
Product, and this is about respect for black women. This is all this is about. This is not about what's going on in people's bedroom.
I don't think so, because when I listen to her angry, she's a little bit frustrated, and that's because she's not getting provided in that bedroom.
But Wiley, even come on, man. Evidently,
it's just
she had
the truth.
Bad experience with the guy, so I would be angry also.
I think that if her husband was hitting that, if that husband was hitting that G spot, I believe she would not be so aggressive on the internet. I'm just giving my thoughts because I talk. One second. I talked to.
She would be happy. Well, maybe if somebody was putting it all the way up in Darius's stomach, he wouldn't be.
I talked to a therapist that specializes in the bedroom, and she said, and I want to say this, Mrs. Williams. I don't want to put your name out there, Mrs. Williams. But I talked to Mrs. Williams, and she said she sounds like she's frustrated. She sounds like she's very frustrated, and he have not hit that G spot. So again, I think that if her husband would have hit the G spot, she won't have half of the energy to be on the internet.
Really? Okay,
yes, sir.
So so that's an expert opinion that you have. So my opinion is maybe if somebody was putting it all the way up in his stomach, maybe he wouldn't be scammed and be such a mean, evil person. Do you think that?
No, he's not mean and evil. Darius is doing great. Darius is doing great. And let me tell you something.
He needed you as a vessel.
I don't even want. I don't want to tear up when that brother came on my show. I don't want to tear.
Go ahead.
I don't want to tear up. But when I looked at him, I just saw greatness. And then when I went on his Instagram, when I went on his Instagram, when I went on his Instagram, let me tell you. Well, hold on one second. When I went on his Instagram, I saw thousands of intelligent, beautiful black women was supporting Darius Cook. So
of lonely black women. That's what I saw.
Lonely?
But
really?
Let me tell you this. When I discovered this guy, and I'm an avid YouTube user, and I used to watch him cook. He was a little thicker then. And I looked at this guy. This guy was cooking, man. This guy, he spoke so eloquent. I was like, okay, is this going to be the next G. Garvey? What's going on with this guy?
Mm-hmm.
And then, I kind of, faded away from watching him on YouTube and this and that. And then, like I said, I want to order some products. And I said, well, let me see if this guy's still around. Let me tell you, man, I Googled this guy and everything but the right thing came up. I'm like, what happened in a 6-month span? What happened?
Can I tell you what happened?
So intelligent. He was so articulate, and he wore polos. Hey, I'm a sucker for a nice polo. And within 6 months, everything just turned around. It's like something terrible happened in his life that made him act this way. I've seen all the hashtags. I've seen the people criticize it and this and that. But I noticed a change in him, a change in his heart, a change in his spirit. It was just something about him that changed. I'm not talking about what people said he did and this and that. It was just something different about from day one when I watched him to the latter time that I watched him. It was just something very different in his spirit. That's the only thing I'm saying, Wiley. I'm not getting involved in no female's bedroom, no married couple's bedroom, and I'm not saying what's going on in Darius's so-called Airbnb bedroom. But I just noticed a change in him. And that's what made me not have an order number.
Okay, I want to say this because I was just texting with some people over there in Darius camp, and I told them, I said, if Darius wasn't successful, he wouldn't get this backlash from a lot of people. But because, come on, let me see. Hold on, I'll let you talk. Hold on, you gotta let me talk. Let me land the plane. Let me land the plane. Hold on. Let me land the plane right now. Because of the success of Brother Darius, all of the comments from the 5 people in your part of the 5, so maybe 6 people that are criticizing Darius are African American people that could not have the talent to sell products, couldn't cook no fried chicken, and don't have a following. So they want, hold on 1 second, sir. 1 second, sir. 1 second, sir. 1 second. And they just want clout off of Brother Darius because they couldn't make it for themselves.
Clout? I'm not trying to have a YouTube channel. I'm not on Instagram cooking. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm not trying to have clout. I'm not trying to do that. I just want somebody to stand up for our black women sometime. That's it. And then you know what? And let me say this.
Go ahead, sir.
And I hate to say this, and I said this the other day on Twitter, and somebody, got in an uproar about it, but it seems like there's a portion of our society of black women that when a man is gay, he can say or do anything, and he will get the support. And if we as heterosexual men say anything, oh, you hate, oh, you just mad because of this, you mad because of that. But sometimes I think he gets a free pass because of the way he smacks his lips all the time. So sometimes I think he gets a free pass. But like I said, from day one when I watched him until the latter when I watched him, it seemed like there was a change in his spirit. And that's what drove me away.
May I respond,
that's
please?
The only thing I'm saying.
I want to say. I want to say this. I want to say this. I want to say. Hold on 1 second. I don't think his sexuality have anything to do with it at all. Right. I don't think so at all.
I don't think what goes on in Miss Holland's bedroom has anything.
Well, that was my thought. So again, I think that what Darius, I think that I want to say this because I did. Hold on 1 second. I just went to a conference and I spoke to LGBTQ youth, and I said, Brother Darius, the success of him being a open and proud black gay man is sending. It's hold on 1 second, sir. I have to be. Can I say my point? Can I say my point? And I said to these young black, LGBTQ youth, because of the success of Brother Darius being a proud, gay, successful man, I think that they are going to look at that and say, I want to do what Darius do, and I want to be a business owner. Whatever you want to say about Darius, he's a successful business owner, and he's still selling products, and he's still out there doing great things for America. So again, I think you
he's doing great things for who?
He's doing great things for America. Absolutely.
He has a niche audience. Don't say America, please. He has a niche audience. And if you notice the women that buy from him, they all have a certain look, a certain stature, and a certain situation. Hey, I might be wrong. Don't get mad at me. Don't shoot the messenger. Just shoot what I see. But like I said, and like you said so eloquent, his homosexual, his what he chooses doesn't have anything to do with anything. And I was saying the same thing for Miss Holland. What goes on in her bedroom has nothing to do with the way she feels.
I just said the G spot.
Let's also defend our sisters,
I want to say this because, and I said it to all women that have husbands, they didn't reach the G spot. I feel for them because when you're not having a husband that don't reach the G spot, you get frustration, you get anger, and you go on Twitter, right? And you have to attach yourself to another man. So I get it. I really get it. My hope is for women that they can have men that reach their G spot. I looked at the statistics, sir, and it was a lot of women. I talked to a lot of women, and they say a lot of women does not get their G-spot reached. Wow. So again,
if you're gonna talk about her G-spot being reached, let's talk about his stomach being reached. If somebody was putting it in him and they was digging all the way up in his stomach, maybe he wouldn't scam and dox people.
He doesn't. Doxing is not illegal, sir.
Maybe something sexual is wrong with him.
Doxing is not illegal, sir, and he's not a scammer.
Doxing is not illegal.
Where's the indictment?
Is it moral?
Doxing is nothing wrong with doxing. It's not illegal. It's not illegal. It's not illegal.
You walking up cussing a black woman out or cussing someone out who didn't do nothing, didn't do anything to me, that's not illegal. They won't put me in jail for that. But if it, come on, let's ask ourselves. We're all adults.
I want to ask you a question because you asked me. I think it's very morally right. It's very entertaining.
You think it's morally right to put someone kids. I know you have nephews and nieces. Do you think it's nothing? It'd be okay for someone to do that?
It's nothing wrong if you put your people out there publicly. It will be repulsive.
If I put my picture out there with my family, and then all of a sudden you take my picture and you put my picture out there in a negative light, man, I think that's morally wrong.
I don't think it's morally wrong because you put it out there publicly. I would say this, sir. I would say this, sir. I would say this, sir, because I would say this, sir. How did you find? I want to ask you a question.
I want you to have the same energy because one day in the future, me and you will talk again.
I understand that.
Remember that big bat. And so
I understand that, sir. Again. But sir, how did you find out about the Wiley Show? Because this is your first time calling in.
My very first time calling in. I seen a tag that there was going to be an interview, and I seen a number that it was a 972 number. So I seen 972. I'm like, is that Dallas? You know, I'm from the South. And so I see, we got a D-Town brother finna talk to him? Maybe we can get some things straight because I know guys from Dallas, they don't play that mess. They gonna put it on the put on. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, I'm not from Dallas. I was born and raised in Chicago.
Oh, okay. Oh, my God. And there's the link. But I seen the 972 number, and I seen you, and before I, seen the interview with you, I looked at a couple of your interviews and looked at a couple of your situations that you had going on. And I was saying to myself, man, this guy seems honest and fair. He looks like a pretty good, legitimate type of journalist type situation going on. So I say, hey, let me set my reminder and I'm going to check it out. So I listened to the first 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, he's kind of throwing some things. But then as the interview progressed, it seems like you just kept throwing them alley-oops. You kept throwing alley-oops, man. The hood alley-oops mean you just kept making life easy for him. I was like, come on, this guy's not hard-hitting. Come on. And some of the things that you asked him when he answered the questions, it was some questions you could have just came back on. Okay, so what about, and you never did that. And then like 10, 15 minutes in the interview, it seemed like you was just mesmerized. Your eyes, you had googly eyes. And I said, oh my God, what is this, a setup? And I said, come on, Wiley. I thought you were going to do it. And then a couple of people hit me back in the comments talking about, now look, I usually watch his show. He's not this easy with people. I don't know what goes on. Usually Wiley is fair. And I'm like, well, Wiley is not fair today. Wiley is it looked like an average. You know what it looked like? It looked like an infomercial for Darius Cooks. That's what it looked like, an infomercial.
Oh, sir.
When you just talk to Miss Mel, what did that look like? It looked like a witch hunt. Only thing I'm going to say is just be fair.
I was very fair, sir.
You're a YouTuber for entertainment. Just be fair.
I was very fair, sir. I asked some very...
No, you were condescending. You were rolling your eyes. You were coughing. You were doing this and doing that. Come on, Wiley. I was watching. I have a big screen. I can see your face real prevalent.
Well, I want to ask you this. I had.
You talking about somebody's bedroom? That's above you, Wiley. I hope you would not stoop to his level.
I was definitely asking some very tough questions. I was getting emails from the.
You probably was asking questions. You would let him tell you the answer that he wanted to tell you.
I was definitely there, and I got a phone call from the NAACP, and they said, "Brother, you asking some very tough questions." And also, Black Enterprise called,
the NAACP,
Black Enterprise definitely called me and said, "You asked some very tough questions." So I will continue to ask some very tough questions as anybody that come on the show. You're just upset because you are like others that feel that Darius is a scammer, and I disagree.
I'm upset. Well, I am a little upset. The only thing I'm upset about is that how condescending you were to her, and you didn't have that same energy when you were talking to him. If you're going to do something, if you're going to interview two people, be fair.
I was very fair,
nice
sir.
enough to to come on the show with you. Just be fair, Wiley.
I was very fair to Mrs. Holland.
No, you was fair in your eyes. Like I said, it looked like an infomercial for Darius Cook, and after 10 minutes, you got googly eyes.
I did not.
You just hung on every word that he said.
I want to say this, sir. Again, when Darius came on the show, I told my team we're going to ask some very tough questions. And Darius was like, you were very fair. You asked me very tough questions, and it was a great interview. And that was an honor. And I'm talking to one of his critics, you guys, from Dallas. You're from Dallas, right? One of his critics. And we're having a very fair conversation. Now, to the lady that couldn't get her G-spot reach, I hope that her husband able to reach the G-spot. I do give a couple of classes and, you know what? and help him out in that.
Darius' boyfriends are able to reach his stomach. To put something, like I hope they're able to reach the inside of his stomach, and maybe he will stop scamming and doxing. Like I said, if you're going to talk about her bedroom,
he never scammed.
His stomach.
He never scammed.
He just had a gastric bypass, so he probably can't have that up in his stomach right now.
Are you her husband? A lot of people say you're Mrs. Holland.
No, I'm not.
A lot of people say that, and a lot of people.
That's why I'm not. I don't have the privilege to talk about her G-spot.
A lot of people are saying you're the husband. Is that true, sir?
No, I am from Dallas, and no, I'm not her husband.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I'm not her husband. Hey, believe me, if I was her husband and you was talking about my wife G-spot, this conversation would have been over a long time ago, bro.
All right. Well, we think you
talking about my wife's G-spot.
You find out about the Wiley Show, and we having a conversation.
Right. So I'm a Southern gentleman, and sometimes I talk out of turn, but I was always taught, you never disrespect any married couple's bedroom. That's not your business. That's not her G-spot is not my business. Neither is it yours.
I had a conversation, and
you talked to an expert, and I talked to an expert also the other day. I think they were from the Institute of What Goes Inside Men's Stomach, and maybe if he had something nice going up in his stomach, maybe he wouldn't dox and scam people.
All right. And you definitely feel that. Again, I just want to make it clear, Darius have not been arrested. I do want to have a legal note. He have not been arrested or charged with a crime.
I don't think Reverend Ike was arrested either. So, I mean, just because a person does a crime, sometimes you can do a crime and you don't have to be arrested for it. Sometimes you can pay restitution.
I say he has not been arrested. I'm just want to read that legal note for the integrity of the show. But we thank you, sir, from Dallas, Texas.
You, Wiley. Hey, and keep up the one-sided work.
Okay, we will keep up the great work. Shout out to Roland Martin. I know he's watching.
Shout out to Roland Martin for sure. He's from Houston, Texas.
Yes.
Shout out to him, Texas Southern University, HBCU. Shout out to him for sure. And shout out to Mel. She was very eloquent this morning, I think.
All right. Well, we thank you so very much. And we're gonna do another interview with Darius. And everything like that, and hopefully you tune in for that, sir.
Of course I will. Thank you, Wiley.
Thank you. All right, so we asked some very tough questions, and we got some phone calls here, so you all be with me. Wow. Okay, we've been on for 2 hours. Okay, somebody called me from St. Francis Hospital, so I hope they okay. Somebody called me from St. Francis Hospital. I hope they okay. I guess they were calling from work, but somebody was calling from St. Francis Hospital. Hope they're okay. Whoever called me from St. Francis Hospital. Give me a second. Hello, yes, welcome to the Wiley Show. I see that you had called the Wiley Show.
Hello?
Hey, you had called the Wiley Show?
Yes, I had called the Wiley Show. How are you?
Doing okay. Good afternoon.
Hi. Yeah, I was just watching your show just a little while ago, and you guys was talking about Twitch.
Yes, DJ Twitch. They found his suicide note, and I believe he died in debt. So, what's your thought about DJ Twitch? I think he was very selfish to end his life the way like that because you left your children behind and your wife, so it's very selfish. It's my
Yes,
thoughts.
I also feel the same way, and and they said he took an Uber or walked or something like that. I feel like even though he's dead and he died and everything like that, I feel like that was a selfish way to go out. He didn't leave anything behind. You left the lady with 3 children. So that's basically what I have to say.
Well, thank you so very much that you had called me, and I hope all is well. How did you find out about the Wiley Show? I'm just curious.
Actually, I was downstairs with my mom watching it, and I decided to just call in and to say my opinion.
Oh wow! So your mom is a producer.
I think my mom might be still watching you. Mom, are you still watching the Wiley Show? She's still watching you.
Oh wow! So she's a fan. Okay. Tell your mom I said hello.
Yes, Mom. Wiley said hello. She said hello, and she absolutely loved your show.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so I was actually downstairs with her, watching it and everything, and I feel like they call and voice my opinion.
Okay. Well, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank
and
you.
We love you. I will subscribe now.
Okay, go subscribe. Thank you.
My mom said she already did. She already did.
Yes.
She said, you'll be letting nobody give you slack. Yeah, so we will be calling in often, to voice our opinion. And
okay.
Thank you so much for,
thank you.
Even calling me back. Thank you. I
thank you.
appreciate that.
No problem. Thank you so very much.
Yes, you have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See, when people say Wiley don't have supporters, we have supporters. So I want to talk about DJ Twitch because this is going to be very controversial. But I feel like if you delete your life and leave your family behind, you are selfish. You are a selfish person. I don't think that you're going to make it into the pearly gates of heaven because the Bible speaks against ending your life. So I think that's very, very selfish, in my humble opinion. I think he left broke and he left his family alone. Very, very selfish. Hello, is this Roland Martin? Oh, I thought this was Roland Martin. That's that troll. So I think it's very selfish that if you end your life and leave your family behind, there are so many resources to help you. If you're feeling low, if you're feeling down in your spirit, you have so many institutions. And if you are like DJ Twitch, you can get access to the most powerful therapist that money can buy. And you're connected to Ellen. So you could call Ellen and say, hey, Ellen, I need a therapist. Can you cover it? And she will cover it. And so I just don't feel that that's not good at all because not only did you leave your wife, you left those beautiful children behind. All right. And so I think it's very selfish. Now, I believe financially they were in debt. I believe financially they were in debt. I believe financially he, signed a bad deal and he's using this, because he was in debt, in my humble opinion. So, and I think that, he was upset, Ellen in the show and that was his income, but it's nothing wrong with you going to Walmart or FedEx. Understand what I'm saying? So that's what I believe. And I know a lot of mainstream media not reporting it, but the Wiley Show is reporting that he was in financial trouble. We're reporting on it right now on the Wiley Show, that he was in financial trouble, that he was in debt and all of that. And if you, wasn't in debt, then why you in yourself? You had a beautiful, high class woman. She was exotic, high class. You had beautiful children. You were successful. You were famous. So I just don't understand that at all. And a lot of people are not going to say this because they just want to kiss, but they're going to say this privately. I was having a conversation with a person. He said it privately. Somebody really connected in the industry. He said it's very selfish. I said, can you say it publicly? Oh, no, I can't say it publicly. And so, again, I think that's selfish, honestly. And I believe that he died in debt. And so, again, with his very exotic wife, you're leaving him and your children alone. So I honestly, I think that it is. And he got into an Uber and he went to the motel and he ended himself. I think that's very selfish. And I was having this conversation with my producers, and I said, "Hey, that's very, very, very selfish." And it's definitely helped. I remember I was at a low point in my life, and I received the help, and I got the treatment. And so I haven't been depressed in a while. I get the help, I get the treatment. I'm on the medication. I talk to the psychiatrist and everything like that. I'm on the waiting list to see a therapist, but I'm doing pretty good. I keep myself busy and all of that. But again, don't be going around having all these kids and then you can't handle life and then you leave them behind. Right. So I personally believe he was in extreme debt. And that's what I believe. And also they need to look into the bank accounts. And then maybe his wife said, hey, he didn't hit the G spot. We don't know. And we would definitely get more details about that. But TMZ came out because they were watching our show and they said that it wasn't financial problems. But my good friend came out on yesterday and said, hey, it was because of financial problems. It was because of financial issues of that. And so I thank him so very much. I think he was on Scandal. He played into other movies. And he came out and he explained that it was a lot of celebrities that invested in bad financial businesses. So we will continue to keep you all updated about that. And we definitely will talk about that when it comes to stuff like that. And I definitely will understand it. And so when when TMZ was watching our show, they didn't give us credit, but yet they were watching us when we covered this on yesterday. So again, I think it's very selfish. Again, he ain't gonna be resting in peace and all that because you didn't die in peace. So when people say, "Oh, rest in peace," if you didn't die in peace, you ain't gonna rest in peace. These are just facts. Good job, Wiley. You are a different person 5 years ago. You have came together, and so much proud of you. We did it. All right, thank you so very much. And that's what I want to say. He passed from self. Yes, he did, and those are facts. We're talking about hitting in his man and what is happening to us. You can call in, Cola. You call in. These are my thoughts. I could drop the link, but you won't call in. You have all that stuff to say, but you won't call in. I dropped the link. I put the number on the screen. Maybe he didn't hit his wife G spot. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying, and maybe she was just frustrated. Who knows? And so, but again, I will say 1,000% that he passed on from investing in cryptocurrency, investing in a bad deal, and it drying up his finances. And he think, well, let me just end my life, and then they could just live on their insurance. But I highly doubt the insurance will be able to pay out the policy. I can't read the policy because I tried to get his policy from State Farm, right, Paul? We tried to read his policy. 1 second. Okay, we tried to read his policy. They wouldn't let us get access to his policy, right? So that's what I'm curious enough to know about that. So I guess he had probably over $1 million in his policy, and I think he want to use that so his family can at least live a decent life. But again, he is very selfish because his family going to be grieving for his loss. And I was definitely in his wife's DM. I send my condolences. I said, if you need somebody to cuddle with, I am here. If you need somebody to eat dinner with, I am here. So I was reaching out to her in the DM, and I left her a quick note, quick voice note. I said, if you need somebody, you know what I'm saying, to cuddle with, if you need somebody to dance with, I am here. All right. So I did reach out to her in the DM, waiting on her to respond because we did reach out to her. We did reach out to her in the DM, and so we are definitely having a conversation. I don't know if she need me to, help her out and cuddle with her and all of that. So this is the best time. I can always give her some sippity ping. So we did reach out to her, and And I don't know if she sent us a couple of hearts, so we definitely will be sending her some flowers. And so yeah, we definitely will send her some flowers and some chocolates and everything like that, and some pecan pie and everything like that. So so I did reach out to her, and so we will see that if she respond to us. And yeah, so we did reach out to her. I know a lot of people have said, like, why would you reach out? Because again, the opportunity presents itself. She's a beautiful woman. You know what I'm saying? My father actually is married to a white woman. So that's why I have those cravings for white women and to be married to a white woman, because it's in my DNA. Because my father, Mrs. Tommy, he's married to a white woman. So that's just in my DNA. So when I wonder, like, why is I'm looking at white women and everything like that? And I'm like, oh, it's in my DNA because my father is married to a white woman. So again, it is what it is. We definitely reached out to her, bro. Wiley, you are here. We reached out to her. We having a conversation, and yeah. And so it's just in my genetics with that. Okay. It's sad, but at the end of the day, don't create children if you can't handle the care of them emotionally, mentally, or financially. And I agree. I said, do not be creating that. And I said that. While you can look at whatever and stuff like that, because she's very exotic woman. And we definitely had that conversation. I know a lot of people are going to get upset with me, but it is what it is. I have to give my thoughts with it. Okay, somebody left me a voicemail. What is this voicemail?
Women's husband have been trying to contact Darius. Darius will not talk to men. It's a fact. He would not talk to men. Read about Miss Holland and her husband. A forever problem. Please stop, Wiley. You making men look bad out here.
So he leaving voicemails. I tell you, man, this is the type of show that we have, man. People leaving voicemails and all of that. This is a good idea, Wiley. Please do it over here and comfort her so she can have you. This is how they like spicy. He was like, it doesn't lady for last night, then they call her, it took care to keep you left behind without a father for the rest of their life. That's going to forever scar them. Absolutely. You're almost done planning. Absolutely. The wife is not exotic. She's from Minnesota, grew up in Utah. Stop. It's weird the dudes is trying to use his illness as reasons that the witch took it. Oh, no, I don't believe that. Wiley is a sucker for a polo. All right, but we thank y'all so very much. If I'm gonna drop the link one more time because we're gonna be right back with the link, and we're gonna drop the link. All right. Well, I was not planning on doing this show, but we were definitely doing the show. Hold on one second. But I appreciate people for calling in and giving their thoughts on this lovely morning. And thank you so very much. Also, this is going to scar the children mentally for the rest of their lives. Now, they might have visuals as they get older. I agree. I thought you wanted to marry a black woman and have black children. Yes. But I don't mind playing in the snow. While even work his butt off. I love it. Thank you. There's nothing wrong playing in the snow. All right. There's nothing wrong playing in the snow. All right. That's what I want to do. There's nothing wrong, dipping in the snow. Nothing wrong with that. But again, I love it. I love the fact that you all are here. So we're gonna be back live. I'm gonna go we're gonna go right back live. We're waiting on updates for Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. So thank you all so very much. Again, I gave you an update on DJ tWitch. He passed on because he was in debt. He made a bad business deal, and I'm saying it 1,000%, right? And I love it. Oh my gosh, what is she doing? Oh, it's snowing in Chicago? Really? I didn't know it was snowing in Chicago. Why I didn't know this other? Okay. All right. Thank you all so very much. Okay. I will see y'all in the next live. I didn't know it was snowing in Chicago, so I'm not going to Chicago. It's snowing. All right, thank y'all so very much. Also, if you want to contribute to the Wiley Show, we have our Cash App $ Marquise Wiley 28. That's $ Marquise Wiley 28. If you want to contribute to the show, you can donate. You can send stuff to our PO Box 701122, Dallas, Texas 75370. Also, if you want to text or call me about just text me about some celebrity gospel stories, you can do so at 972-674-9462. 972-674-9462. If you have any information that you want to send about Darius, you can text it to me at 972-674-9462. 972-674-9462. And one of my investigators will get back to you. So if you have anything that you want to send me about Darius or send me stuff about DJ tWitch or any celebrity, you can do so at 972-674-9462. If you want to be notified when I go live, text Wiley to 888-534-4939. Text Wiley to 888-534-4939. Text Wiley, WILEY, to 888-534-4939. All right. Thank y'all so very much for you all. Thank you so very much. All right. This was definitely a great show. See y'all next episode. We're going to go live because I got to go back live about Megan Thee Stallion. Peace.